Hey guys, Weeby News here, and today we are checking out the demo for Process of Elimination. So yeah, I made a video on this game a little while ago. It's the one where the main character looks identical to Saihara from V3. But yeah, I have been pretty excited for this game because some of the game mechanics seem really interesting. Same with the characters. There's like this one guy who I'm pretty sure is like confirmed to be a serial killer, and also he wears heels, so you know he slays in both ways, honey. But yeah, the demo came out for this game, so I figured I'd go ahead and give it a shot. This game is for both the Switch and for the PS4, so I believe you can access the demo on either of their game stores. And if anybody's curious, I'm playing the Switch one. But first, I'd like to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Factor 75. When you sign up with Factor, you get fresh, ready-made meals delivered to your doorstep. All the ingredients are delivered fresh, not frozen. The meals are all designed by dietitians to ensure that every meal is packed with premium, science-backed nutritional quality. I don't know about you guys, but I am pretty lazy when it comes to cooking. After a long stream, I'm almost always tempted to just order some delivery, but Factor manages to make healthy meals convenient as well. The ingredients are literally delivered to your doorstep, and it cuts out the stress of meal planning and prepping, so meals come together in minutes. They have tons of meal preferences too, like keto, vegan, low calorie, etc. So it makes it easy to always stick to your diet, while also having a ton of different meal options with it. They provide over 27 meal options each week, and they also have over 33 add-ons too, like smoothies, keto shakes, desserts, and more. So there really is something for everybody. If you would like to try out Factor, you can click on the link in my description and use the coupon code FACTORSE33091, which will give you 50% off of your first box. But yeah, once again, thank you to Factor 75 for sponsoring this video. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the game. Okay, start. It's a rainy day in June, with clouds covering the entire nation. The live broadcast of a new gaming release is suddenly disrupted. Oh my god, a new game, and we're playing a game. Who would have thunk? Oh. Oh. Oh yeah, this logo is so creepy. Oh, Jesus Christ! What the fuck? Jesus! You guys sound like Satan. I hate it here. They kind of remind me of the plush dolls from what's that other game that I played recently? Wolf Game. They remind me of the plush dolls from Wolf Game. Oh man, those guys are creepy too. These are just like more high def. I'm like, please no. I don't want it. Leave me alone. Take my money. Just don't hurt me. I think it seems like it's in Japanese right now too, so I guess I'll just go ahead and read everything out. Pardon me, but I'm conducting a quick survey. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? On one side, a recent grad. On the other, a total shut-in. Who do you despise more? This is gonna be like some Mrs. Red and Mr. Blue shit, like in Your Turn to Die, huh? Who do I want to kill? That's basically what this is, I assume. Okay, who do you despise more? I don't know, man. I like them both. They both seem cool to me. The shut-in? Good, because we're gonna murder him. Thank you for your I hate their voice. Oh yeah, here we go. Thank you for your response. Now, without any further ado, this loathsome shut-in shall disappear before your very eyes. This individual is hereby condemned to the fate of a quarter doll. A quarter doll? Am I gonna stuff him? Oh shit! I guess so. Oh whoa, what the? Oh, it's them! Oh! Sorry for judging you guys. I thought y'all were gonna kill me, and then I ended up being the one who slayed. Who would have seen that coming? It's like, thanks for sparing my life, bro. Entertainment! Hello, dear consumers, and adieu to be consumed. How did it feel dismembering the reviled with the simple press of a button? Quite good, no? Downright refreshing, even. What the hell? This really is Your Turn to Die. Majority rules. It's just a majority vote, Weeby. Oh god, this truly is Mrs. Red and Mr. Blue all freaking over again. It's best to eliminate those who don't share your values. Majority rules. After all, whatever bloke thought that up was truly a sadistic genius.
一部の反対意見を踏み潰すのにこれほど優れたシステムはないもの。ぐちゃぐちゃに踏みにじって少数派の体液で湿った道を踏み固めれば盤石安泰大安心。
The opposition. Oh, the music's getting all freaky. Give me some Doki Doki flashbacks. It's getting all like off tune and stuff. The opposition may be trampled, but there exists no better system. The path to peace must be painted by the blood of the minority.
少数派のことなんてありんこ程度にも思ってない多数派の偉い人が作ったんだろうね。
Those behind this polity, the eminent among the many, give less thought to the few than they would an ant. I must hand it to them. It's simply ruthless.
ジョークだよ。
Oh, don't look at me like that. It was a joke. A joke. I wouldn't want to get canceled on social media over this. God, comedy is just so dead. Okay, you crazy bitch.
自己紹介がまだだったよ。ごめんごめん。
Ah, goodness, this won't do. No, no, no. I've neglected to introduce myself. I'm so sorry. Oh. Oh, yeah. I don't know how I always manage to somehow like misgender every character before learning their gender. I'm so sorry, His Grace. I gave you the Kanade voice. You're being a little creepy asshole. You know, that's just the first voice that comes to my mind. I'm His Grace, or is it Your Grace? Let's say Your Grace. The quartering duke and entertainer come to bring amusement to your world. Yay! The one person there clapping.
脳実直撃のエンターテインメントを提供していくので、ぜひ腹がはち切れるまで楽しんでもらいたい。
From now on, every soul in this nation will be provided with entertainment to stir the mind, so please indulge until you're fully bursting.
我が輩のエンタメに意義があるなら、我が輩の正体を特定してみればいいさ。
Should you object to your Grace's choice of recreation, you are invited to try and reveal his true nature.
多様性があってこそのエンタメだからね。悲劇的で野生的な殺戮のエンタメと、喜劇的で文化的な正義のエンタメで競い合う。
Such a show can't exist without diversity, you see? Oh, look at me. So you can stop canceling me already. See, I care about diversity. But this is a clash between tragic, savage carnage and the comical, cultural stylings of justice.
今の視聴者数
Oh.
はおよそ5000人か。では、今宵の最後のエンタメとして、我が輩から君たちに一つ問いかけよう。
Okay, so it's like a live stream of some sort. 5,000 viewers, that's already a lot. I guess he is a really famous serial killer. At least that's what I remember reading on the website. Oh, we currently have about 5,000 viewers. Then for tonight's final act, a question from your grace to all our viewers at home. Other people online were voting who to kill too.
この着ぐるみの中の男は
Oh, that's creepy.
クラスのリーダーに君臨し、いじめを率いてきた。
The individual within the animal suit terrorized his middle school class as the lead bully. You guys screwed up, actually. You should have killed this guy.
一方で教師にはおべっかを誓い、大いに敷かれ、エリート街道を邁進。過去の罪も償わぬまま、父のコネも利用して、大手の銀行への就職を成功させたんだ。
But his teachers, whom he sucked up to, favored him. He went places without atoning, using his father's connections to get a job at a major bank.
君たちの第一印象が生存へと導いたのは、こういう人物なんだ。
Just rubbing it in now, huh, homie? This individual was saved by your first impression.
今一度質問だ。君たちは彼が好きかい？過半数以上の視聴者が彼を好きだというのなら、彼としても
Interesting.
じゃないか。
With that, I asked, do you still like him? Should over half the viewers say so, I'll release him. Oh, I get to decide if he dies or not? Well, now he kind of seems like a douche, so I kind of want to slay. Oh, God. Guys, it's all the Danganronpa. It just makes me love bloodlust, okay? Screw this guy, I hate him.
好きだと言ってくれた人は500人にも満たなかったね。か しいよ。なんて残酷な悲劇だろう。本当に悲しくて胸が引き裂かれそうだ。
It's like, if I get the chance to slay, I'm just gonna slay, homie, okay? Seems not even 500 people liked him. A shame. Nothing short of a tragedy, truly. The sorrow, it's too much to bear. Oh, a tear coming to my eye right now. However, the quartering duke snaps his fingers. Oh god. Oh my god, it sounds like he's rigging up the Danganronpa execution. That is what makes this the very finest entertainment. Ugh. Alas, it all will soon be time to part ways. I got a big project going on now. As for myself, your duke, that is, I'm the enemy of those who mindlessly consume, and a friend to those consumed. Thus I take my leave. Do enjoy the show. God, it's still going on, the execution. Ugh. Really interesting start, though. The video cuts off at about 4 minutes and 52 seconds. As a hacked broadcast, those who ran the website were powerless to stop it. Okay. The people at like Twitch headquarters just like frantically running around. The video, just shy of 5 minutes, is shared across the net, mostly among the youth. But things don't end with that. Not just the broadcasted victims, but others killed in the same manner are soon discovered. The common thread, at least 2 victims are always found at once, with their locked screens set to the symbol of the quartering dupe. Okay, so that's the dupe. The quartering duke! Okay, so I guess that's like his little thing that he likes to leave behind. The police pour all of their resources into investigating the case, but turn up nothing. Pair by pair, more and more bodies surface, until half a year later, over 100 have been killed since that first broadcast. Oh my god, what are the police doing? The sheer number of victims and brutality of the murders fling society into chaos. Hey, there he is! I think it is a snuff show, honestly. I think that's basically it. It's so nice to see Saihara again. Even though I know you're not technically Saihara, but you look like him, and that's close enough. I grip my phone tight as I read articles about the murders, speaking aloud despite myself. I've seen the effects of this duke all around me. People are terrified to go outside, and stores have even shortened their hours. Kind of reminds me, I feel like everything I play, I'm like, this is kind of like Death Note. But it does kind of remind me of that in a way, just because it seemed like he was justifying it by being like, well, this guy's kind of a dick, so you want to kill him, right? You know what I mean? That kind of seemed to be what it was like. What's worse, he's gained some traction among young copycats taken by his charisma. With the police overwhelmed, small private agencies like mine are in huge demand. Apparently, even the FBI is getting involved. Past events had already stoked the need for this line of work, but the Duke has only made things worse. The media jeers at the detective craze. Let me go ahead and save, and then I'll just turn off the voices. This is just the demo, so this is kind of like my first gut reaction of what to do. But you guys can let me know in the comment section if you prefer me to just like not read the lines so you can hear the Japanese voices instead, if there is no English dub for this version. Mr. Genjoji says the ideal society is a peaceful one, where detectives are starved for work. He may be right about that. Ah, nice. As I lay in wait for my mark, I recall my mentor's words inside of myself. I work for the Genjoji Detective Agency. It's probably one of the punier agencies around. Though nowadays we're buzzing with activity. I kind of expected it to be like a bigger agency, honestly. I guess I'm just thinking about Raincode. I'm a student working part-time, but they plan to recruit me once I've graduated. The situation must be getting pretty serious nationwide. An ideal society has no use for detectives, huh? The thought alone makes me a bit miserable. Is this the reality faced by all aspiring detectives? I guess that's partially what like the quartering Duke is trying to do too. He's like, we don't need detectives, you guys have me, right? And I'm so lovable. Okay, that's enough of that. My worries run wild when I'm on my own. It's a bad habit, but I've got to focus on work. There he is, my mark is on the move. Eh? That's like his boss, right? After a moment's pause, the man clad in a trench coat starts off down the road again. I make sure I'm out of earshot before calling in my report, just as my mentor had instructed. Wato here, the target is on the move. He's headed right where you predicted, Mr. Genjoji. Okay, I kind of thought this guy was Mr. Genjoji. I can't remember his name. It just like, I thought I remembered it being like he was a mentor or like the head of a detective agency or something, so I just kind of assumed. But no, he's Wato's target apparently. Seems like somebody thought he was doing something sus. I'll stay on the lookout for any traps as I continue tailing him. Quieting my steps, I follow the man cautiously. He's our top suspect in the serial pet killer case? Okay, lock him up right now. And according to Mr. Genjoji, he may be armed. Jesus, why would you kill the pets? Whatever I do, I absolutely cannot allow my presence to be detected. Man, fuck this guy. Can I help you? Uh-oh. Shit, I was caught. Suddenly, the man is right in front of me, and I reflexively take a step back. Did he notice me following him despite the cover of darkness and my voice being out of earshot? No, I'm good. I'm actually running late for cram school. Gotta go. I'm not suspicious at all. As I try to move past him, the man blocks my path. I doubt you'll make it in time if you keep matching my pace and stopping every time I do. Oopsie. You're pretty obvious, bro. Your expression gives away everything. -1 point. Not that you should really be that surprised. You would only stop on a completely empty street like this one if you were tailing someone. That or checking if someone's tailing you. So Watson didn't even notice that he was pausing in the first place. So the very active pausing here was a trap. Ugh, how could I make such a rookie mistake? It didn't even register with me. I have no one to blame but myself. You're a fresh face. Who are you? Certainly no detective or policeman, given your noisy, slipshod attempt at shadowing me. Okay, you can stop rubbing it in there, buddy. No, detective. Blood rushes to my face. I poured everything into becoming a detective. His words sting worse than a slap to the face. There's no way I can just let it slide. Yeah, tell him off. Don't patronize me. I'm Wato Hoji, assistant to the detective. He's like Dwight in The Office. Assistant at the Genjoji Detective Agency. We already know you've been snooping around here and that you have a knife. You're suspected of severe animal abuse. Now come quietly. I'm turning you into the police. I had hoped the edge in my voice would intimidate him, but the man only lets out an exasperated sigh. I was like, isn't he just a suspect too? It's not like you can really, I feel like, force him. I don't know. It's like, do you have any evidence? For actually giving out your name? -3 points! -3 points for Gryffindor. This isn't some TV show, kid. Real detectives never reveal their true identity. I bet you can't get enough of those over-the-top crime dramas, can you? I guess this guy's probably the leader of like a super famous organization detective place. And so I guess maybe we'll end up becoming his apprentice somehow. Probably. As much as I hate it, he's read me like a completely open book. The moment a detective reveals himself always seems so cool on television. But he's right, sharing your identity in this line of work is far too dangerous, especially when you don't have any evidence yet of that person being a prime suspect. And does the detective's assistant, the assistant to the detective, plan to arrest me all on his own? A grown man you fully believe to be armed. The man slides his hand into his pocket and readies his stance. I feel like he probably doesn't even have a gun, honestly. I feel like he's just testing me again. He's clearly holding a weapon. This isn't the first time I've gone up against someone armed with a knife, but I still feel my hair standing on end. My heart slams frantically against my ribcage as I freeze up, willing my trembling legs to remain steady. No, I know I'm not ready for that, so instead I called for backup. I just need to buy time until my boss arrives. You think you can buy yourself time, Mr. Wannabe? Wannabe detective? I will, in fact. I have to. One of the pets you killed belonged to a classmate of mine. Aw, the little guy. She's still terrified and traumatized as a result of your prowling about. Being a detective, it's my duty to stop you. Bringing you to justice is the only way to restore the peace in her life. I'll be damned if I let you escape. I tear off my jacket and wrap it around my left wrist to form a makeshift glove, a guard against his knife. In my dominant hand, I grip a pair of handcuffs like brass knuckles. Armed as best as I can, I face off with the man. Humph! We still don't know his name. The man just watches me, showing no signs of movement. Good, he's probably never seen anybody use handcuffs for self-defense before. It's only natural he'd be wary. I learned this trick from Mr. Genjoji. What's great about it is that it never fails to catch people by surprise the first time. I need to stall this out, even if it's just for a little while. Keeping this face-off going is my top priority. Man, am I gonna actually have to do like a minigame while I fight him? The Yakuza School of Arrest Techniques. I take it quite the rare fighting style picked up, boy. Ah, man. What? I'm struck speechless. What are the odds he'd know this tactic? I fumble for an answer, but my mind goes blank. Yeah, he's totally like a leader of some detective agency. Paralyzed in the face of an enemy. -5 points. Oh, you're in the negatives now, boy. Don't expect odd techniques to phase a man of my age. It would work on your typical criminal, however, and you were quick to adapt when all odds were stacked against you. Do I get a point? Yay! 10 points! That's an exemplary quality in a detective. You get 10 points, kid. I see why the chief endorsed you. The man suddenly backs down and speaks with a smile. Wait, what? Is this another trap? Glancing my way, he continues. Sorry for the misunderstanding, but the culprit you've been looking for is the victim's neighbor. I already solved that shit. Come on, that's super easy. I've already handed him over to the police. No job, no comfort, no direction in life, until he became obsessed with the quartering duke. Okay, so that's kind of how this connects to that. And decided to follow in his footsteps. I guess, yeah, the quartering duke. I could see him inspiring people to especially, like, abuse animals. It's like, I want to be like the quartering duke, but I don't want to get in trouble. Or I don't want to get in as much trouble. He couldn't work up the nerve to hack people apart, but animals gave him no trouble at all. Disgusting. Yeah, for real. Who are you exactly? Upon hearing my question, the man pulls what looks to be a tablet out of his pocket. Okay, your ID. The screen shows a familiar symbol and the words Detective Alliance. They have like iPad IDs in this game? Interesting. The Detective Alliance? Whoa, no way. I can't help but yell out the name. The Detective Alliance, the very organization I revere more than anything else. That's right, I'm part of the Detective Alliance, the only government-recognized detective organization in the country. When I was making the video, I was pretty sus of the Detective Alliance, just because, like, I'm pretty sure we get captured, like, right after talking to this guy, and it just seems like, you know, there isn't really that many other groups we've talked to that, like, I feel like would have enough power and money to pull off, like, a killing game of some sort, so I feel like they're my main suspect. I could see them, like, working with the quartering duke, and maybe that could explain why, like, the quartering duke's been able to, like, get away with so much. I don't know, maybe the Detective Alliance is like, we want the quartering duke to stay around and keep killing, so I don't know, there's fear in the hearts of the civilians and they need us more. That's right, I'm a part of the Detective Alliance, the only government-recognized detective organization in the country. I'm sure an aspiring detective like yourself has heard of it. Of course, we're famous. Of course, it's a mysterious coalition of 100 renowned detectives that always send the perfect match for the jobs. Oh yeah, I do think all the other detectives, though, that are captured might be also from the organization. I guess it could just be like some of the higher-ups that are in on the quartering dukes, you know, thing, if that theory is right. The Alliance has solved every case it's ever had, and each of its members had an alias based on their defining traits. Looks like you know quite a bit about this mysterious coalition, Detective Fanboy. As I calm down, my face begins to burn bright red. Again, I had let my excitement carry me away on a totally nerdy rant. I'm such a dork. Still, the Detective Alliance has been the dream I've aspired to ever since I learned about it from Mr. Genjoji. That D-pad, D-pad, oh my god, instead of iPad. We couldn't get the rights to use that, okay? That D-pad you're holding is a hallmark of none other than the Alliance itself. You really are a detective, aren't you? Bingo, call me Senior Detective. Been in the Alliance for aeons. Though these days I mostly scout recruits and provide support. Still, none of the younger generation can out-investigate me, especially with cases as cold as the pet killer one. As prideful as he sounds, I can tell by his expression that he's speaking purely from well-earned experience. He has an air about him that's unlike anyone I've ever met, the kind that could only come from a member of the Detective Alliance. As secretive as it is, the Detective Alliance has grown more famous by the day, thanks to the recent detective craze. I feel like my theory's right so far, though. It's like, isn't it weird that all of a sudden they're getting more famous? Interesting, huh? Interesting that it's the whole quartering Duke thing seems to be helping them. Okay, yay. Some of the detectives. Yeah, I think these are some of the people that end up in the killing game. Even now, the news is full of stories about the cases cracked by the Detective Alliance members. Then there's all the terrorist plots in the wake of the Quartering Duke incidents that they flirted with almost zero leads. The whole reason I joined a detective agency was to carve a path to earning a spot alongside those detectives one day. It's like, why is this guy included though? If it's only gonna be like ultimates, or not ultimates, if it's only gonna be like the super detectives, you know, included in the killing game. Looked up to by detectives far and wide, the Detective Alliance is the absolute paragon for those pursuing justice. I apologize for my rudeness, Senior Detective, sir. Senior Detective, sir! Shouting accusations at you and I couldn't be more clueless. Don't be, I was egging you on after all. No need for the sir either. In our field, the alias itself serves as a title of respect. Okay. Though Senior Detective amicably shrugs off my apology, his unshakable calm only makes me warier of where this is going. Then, as if noticing how on edge I look, he continues to speak. I'll cut to the chase. I'm here to scout you. Okay, interesting. We plan to meet at our base of operations to discuss how to handle the Quartering Duke incidents. We want you to attend. Okay, so he just gets invited by this guy to join them. Huh? Interesting. I don't know, man. This guy is so freaking suspicious. I'm still going with my theory that the Detective Alliance, you know, did this for like a big show to make the public more scared so they would rely on them. Well, why would they kill their own detectives if that was the case, though? Because wouldn't that, like, make them look weaker if it was, like, their own detectives? Maybe I'm off about that, but this guy's evil. I'm sticking with my guns on that one. Huh? I responded lamely, unable to fully grasp what he's saying. It's like this is so suspicious. Like, hey, I know I just met you, kid, and you're some loser high schooler, and you're not even in the Detective Alliance yet. But hey, I'm gonna invite you to our super secret private island so you can discuss top confidential information. Isn't that great? It sounds just, you know, a little too good to be true. I respond lamely, unable to fully grasp what he's saying. I'll say it again. We want you to join our investigation of the Quartering Duke case as a member of the Detective Alliance. What? Don't you guys have other choices? The sound. Yes, but I'm a very big fan of Danganronpa V3. God, I love Saihara so much. He was the best boy. You remind me a lot of him, old chap. The sound I make is so shrill and alien, I scare even myself. I pinch my cheek to make sure this isn't just some dream. Ow! No, not a dream. Maybe this is Mr. Genjoji's idea of a prank? No sign of him anywhere, so probably not. Which means... I like the music in this game so far. I was jamming out so hard to the title screen music. That one was really good. I like this one though too. It's kind of like jazzy. Jazzy! This isn't a joke, right? Not at all. We've received direct orders from the government to put an end to the Quartering Duke's reign of terror. But don't tell your friends or family where you're going. And don't bring your cell phone. That's not allowed on the island for reasons. So, a chosen few detectives will convene at HQ to solve this case and take down the most vile homicidal maniac of the century. Like, isn't there 100 people working at your agency? Like, why? Why are you taking the high school kid with you? My mind goes blank again. But if this is real, then my dream is coming true far sooner than I ever imagined. There was so much I could learn, so many accomplished detectives I could meet. Ideal detectives, like ones I aspire to be. Yeah, this is the one too where like I'm pretty sure him and like this girl were in like an accident. I feel like it kind of looked like she died, but then she was like in the detective agency and like in the killing game. So it was like, huh? The kind who could have prevented the tragedy that unfolded before my eyes 10 years ago. I'm sure you have a million questions, but I want to hear what you intend first. Will you join us at the table and help stop the Quartering Duke? Give me your answer, yes or no? Do I get to choose? I don't know. I don't feel like it. Nah, I don't feel like it. I'm kind of tired, you know? This seems like a lot, you know what I mean? What do I do if it says no? It just like ends the game? Like, okay, well, I guess you don't want to play this game then. Go play Mario Party or something, kid. How can I hesitate? I state my intentions loud and clear. Oh, I don't get a choice. You don't get a choice, God, because I'm so freaking awesome. Yes! The moment I try to answer, senior detective's arms hook around my neck. Homie about to choke me to death? Senior detective's arm hooks around my neck and begins to squeeze like a vice. It's oh, I'm so glad you joined. Now come here. Jesus. So tight I can't breathe. I flail and kick frantically, but all I hit is the air and the ground below my feet. Okay, so no, yeah, I was like, at first I thought it was just like a weird way to describe him, like hugging his neck, but no, he's definitely trying to kill me right now. I feel a prick as a slender needle pierces the skin of my neck. Jesus Christ! We do this we drug all of our future detectives. Don't worry, it's normal. Ugh. Well, it feels like liquid ice begins to pump through my veins. My skin turns pale, my limbs go numb, and my strength fades. Nighty-night. My vision blurs, and as my legs start to give out, I sag against the man restraining me. And then, as if the stars have been swept from the night sky, Jesus Christ, everything goes black. Well, it's true that I asked. There was never actually the option to refuse. What the fuck? For you see, you have a duty to attend. The Detective Elimination Project. Oh. Okay, is it just like revealing that this guy's evil, like, straight off the bat? Because, yeah. I mean, he was like, yeah, it's a meeting. Now he's just straight up saying it like, oh, thank God. He's going to be a part of the detective killing game. He needs to be a part of that. It's very important for reasons. We got to kill at least one child doing this. Q-Taro will be so disappointed otherwise. I haven't felt this way in a long time. My consciousness drags sluggishly, as if I'm trapped in thick mud, helplessly sinking deeper and deeper. As much as I try to shut it out, the traumatic nightmare pulls me in once again. In my dream, I'm running down a dark, frigid corridor, holding on tight to the hand of a girl my age. Oh, hey, it's the trauma flashback, huh?
Watto, I can't run anymore. You need to go on without me. You have to escape.
What are you saying, Saika? We're getting out of here together. I made a promise, didn't I? Okay, maybe I was wrong. This girl looks nothing like the white-haired girl. Well, maybe it's like, you know, after she got a makeover. You know what I mean?
But my legs.
The girl is beautiful with bewitching black hair, pure white skin, and light purple eyes, reminiscent of Hydrina's. I remember nothing else about her, but I'm sure that at the time she was very precious to me. And then, ooh, right in front of my eyes, right before my very eyes, a blade swings down and slashes her, covering her in a burst of red. Jesus Christ. Saika, why? I clutch onto her before she can collapse and face the criminal that did this to her. Can we actually see them? Oh, no. Okay. Huh. Beep boop. Oh my God. It's Target. Damn it. I never trusted you as a brand. I always preferred Walmart. Damn you, Target. Takes off the mask and it's like the Target dog. Like, damn it. Well, actually, he's just a little guy. I forgive you, Target dog. You're just a little guy. You're just doing your little thing, okay? So what if you stab my soulmate? I can forgive you. Beep boop. Ah, eek! The massive, unmistakably inhuman silhouette emits a strange mechanical whir. Its murderous intent is nearly enough to pierce through the flesh as it focuses on me. I prepare to die as no more than a child. But at that moment, okay, so maybe this is why Grandpa wants me, because this guy did something to me that makes me like special and like important to include in the game. I guess that makes the most sense. Go, Watto. Huh? You gonna spare me? The girl in my arm strains to get the words. Oh, okay, that was her.
Go, Watto.
The girl in my arm strains to get the words out as her voice begins to fail. I might escape if I leave her now and run. Oh God, do I have to make a choice? What are you gonna do? You wanna abandon your friend and let her die? But maybe I can still save her. There's no way I can just abandon her. You have to live.
You have to live. Become the hero who will save everyone.
No. No! That's all I can remember. My memory cuts out completely, as if the next page has been torn out. Yeah, that guy, the Target guy, definitely did something to me. And I guess like the grandpa knows about it. I guess he might be connected to the Target guy somehow. I'm already going so haywire with the theories. However, since I'm alive, it's obvious what came after. I traded Saika's life to save my own. This was the mass kidnapping and confinement incident I was in a decade ago. The reason I became a detective. He doesn't remember what happened. He's just like assuming that he ran off, right? I think they decided to save him after they gave him like, I don't know, the mark of the target or some shit. A shadowy organization took 16 children. Oh my goodness. Team Danganronpa. 16 children. The perfect number for a Danganronpa game. Oh, God. A shadowy organization took 16 children and locked them in an underground prison for a month, never to be caught. Am I supposed to just live with the sacrifices that came out of that, like Psycha? I was too incompetent to save even one girl, but I refused to leave it there. My heart and soul demand I see it through. I'll become a great detective, a hero, and one day I'll reveal the truth behind what happened 10 years ago. Oh man, I can't believe it was 16. 16 students captured. I wonder what happened to them. But they were locked inside one building together. I wonder. Ugh. I finally come to. My eyelids are so heavy. Just opening them is an undertaking. That was one long dream. It was one I've had countless times before. Of that fateful day I swore I'd become a detective. That incident remains unsolved to this day. What really happened all those years ago? As a survivor, the vague testimony I provided didn't help much. The case has gone cold for 10 years now. I've got to find the truth, to track down the villain who killed Psycha, the girl I owe my life to. That's why I entered this line of work. So yeah, this is definitely going to connect to like the Quartering Duke and the Detective Elimination Project. But that aside, my whole body is aching right now. My mattress feels like a rock and smells like rust. This kind of reminds me of like I guess I haven't played Raincode yet, but it kind of reminds me of like a mixture of Danganronpa and Raincode at this point, since Raincode also has like, the detectives with special talents. This is just like getting those types of detectives and putting them in a death game. You know what I mean? I managed to pry my eyes open, but everything's pitch black. What's more, I can't even move. My limbs are restrained, like I've been wrapped in some kind of sleeping bag. Well, at least he wanted me to be cozy. Oh, he wrapped me up like a little burrito. That's so cute. Don't tell me I'm trapped in here. The old man, he's not so bad. He burrito wrapped me at least. Right after, he drugged me. Whatever. What's going on? Mustering all my strength, I try to worm my way out. Suddenly, my vision is flooded by a bright light. Huh? Whatever restrained me slackens as my own momentum forces me upright. The sight I'm met with... Oh, we're in the forest? Okay. Kind of thought we were going to be like in a basement or something. Expecting like a basement like in Eden's Garden or something. A forest, that sound. Are those ocean waves? Oh my god, I'm on Jabberwock Island. Slay! Lush woodland lies before my eyes. Beneath me is an old rusty locker. Oh yeah, I think I do kind of remember seeing that screenshot now of him in the locker. Guess that's what I'd been stuffed in just a second ago. Again, kind of reminds me of Saihara. Youch, my body's killing me. Oh, I like the animation though, the little leaves. Oh, that's a nice little touch. How long was I crammed inside this thing? Who would do this to me and why? When did I even get here? What the heck is going on? My head swirls in confusion as I try to recall what happened last. Oh, the music sounds so good too. It's so nice. That's right, I met that old man, senior detective, and then he drugged me, the old bastard. The haziness clears as I begin to remember. I was suddenly attacked by senior detective and eventually lost consciousness. He claimed to be part of the Detective Alliance, but maybe that was just a bluff? Wait, if he was lying about being part of the DA, that means the pet killer is still at large. I've got to get back ASAP. I was kind of wondering, was he right to trust that old man so quickly? Because he said he was a part of the Detective Alliance. I guess he showed him the D-pad. But I was like, is that enough evidence for him to trust that he's in the Detective Alliance? Doesn't seem like it anymore. I reached to grab my smartphone, but after a frantic search, I realized that my front pockets had been emptied. Man, he robbed me! As I continue searching my purse, and I notice an unfamiliar weight in my back pocket. That's weird. I don't normally keep stuff back there. Suspicious, I carefully pluck the foreign object from my pocket. Hey, now I got my own D-pad. It's a tablet device, like an oversized smartphone, more or less. The moment I see it, though, a chill runs down my spine. Oh, it looks so cute. I like how they animate the sprites. That's a nice little touch. I like it a lot. No way, is this? Oh, a little blinking. Looks so nice. I lift it up, touching the buttons out of habit. Then a notification appears. Authentication successful. Good morning, Wato Hojo. Seems you got your D-pad working, Okay, we got like Siri on this thing. Fancy. Sure you were drugged, but six alive. But Sake's alive, boy? Oh, it's the guy. It's the old man. Sure you were drugged. Oh, whatever. Okay, so I might have drugged you a little bit. What, you gonna hold that against me? Come on, lame loser. But Sake's alive, boy. Alcohol for 3 days straight, -1 point. But you drugged me. I'll do it again if you lose another point. As the tablet comes to life, a familiar voice emanates from its speaker. This is Senior Detective, the agent who brought you here. We met 3 days ago. Though to you, I suppose it'd feel like it only just happened. What's up, bro? How you doing? Wait, I was out for 3 days? Yeah, it was only supposed to last for like 3 hours, but you know, sometimes you overdo it with the drugging. My bad. Nobody told me how to use a measuring cup. Come on. So the senior detective's the one reaching out to me. I knew I recognized his voice from before. Still, his tone is pretty nonchalant for a kidnapper. I can't help but feel irritated. While I'm certain you think I've deceived you, you are in fact the newest member of the Detective Alliance. I'm not falling for that bullshit, bro. I heard what you were saying when my boy was knocked out. If you doubt me, view the detective roster on your D-pad. That electronic device you know is a trademark of the Alliance. As an official member of the Alliance, your personal information should already be recorded in the database. I open up the tablet and look through the roster he mentioned. There I find my profile beginning with my full legal name. Wato Hojo, Detective Rank 100. Yeah, that's me. Okay, it sounds about right. Did somebody die? Is that why he wanted to put me in here? You know, we lost somebody, so I just kind of pick up the first random detective I see on the street after one of us, you know, kicks the bucket. Yep, that's me. It even lists details only Mr. Genjoji would know, like my skills and work experience. Okay, I kind of want to look at the profile too, since that just updated. Roster. Okay, cool. Take a look at this now. Alias, unrecorded. Real name, Wato Hojo. Rank 100. Lowest rank, 17 years old. Cases solved, 0. Notable cases, none. Okay, it's cool though. It seems like we'll get these for all the characters though. Oh, whoa, it's got like a whole introduction about him. Notable cases, none. Hobby, collecting publications on homes. Special skill, housework. Ah, who's a little male wife, huh? Aw, cute. Ultimate male wife, I see. I see that's your true talent. A male high school student who assists at the office of a private detective agency. 3 years ago, his aunt, a police officer, introduced him to Gunjoji Agency, where he began working part-time. Since then, he has studied the basics of detective work, in addition to performing copious chores. Wato trained in the Ikusa School of Arrest Techniques, a form often used by security guards. Although he lacks in proficiency, his instincts for it are good, and have the potential to improve at an explosive rate, if paired with some other special ability. Okay, so he's gonna be kind of like the Raincoat kid who, like, I guess I won't be able to use the abilities, like, in that game, but, like, seems like, you know, he has like a special ability that like allows him to work well with others. Conversely, he is a professional when it comes to housework. Without him, the agency would be a sea of garbage within a week's time. Okay, so senior detective, rank retired, cases solved, 419, notable cases. The eccentric architecture series, the Alice Castle killings. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to learn more about these cases that they're known for. Hobbies, people watching, DIY. Does the old man have a Pinterest? I DIY'd that sleeping drug, just so you know. I put my heart and soul into it, baby. The special skill, architectural design. Like he built a death game thing on this island. Whatever, he's so fucking suspicious to me, man. He's not gonna stop being suspicious. I think it's also just like old men and children are always suspicious to me, you know what I mean? A veteran detective who, like Vidaku, survived the Dayless Night incident and helped to found the Detective Alliance. Okay, so he founded the Detective Alliance. During one particular case, he made a grave error that resulted in a loss of life and his subsequent retirement. He now works behind the scenes, scouting and mentoring promising young detectives. Maybe after he accidentally killed somebody in a case, he was like, oh, it's kind of awesome. I kind of want to do this more often. Okay, I'll stop suspecting him, but like, he's just so evil, man. He's so comically evil so far. Lexicon. Oh, cool. So this is like more information. Oh, wow. It's a lot of information, man. I might come back to read this later. A lot of information, though, in these sections, though. That's pretty nice. Put a decent amount of effort into world building, at least so far, it seems. Ouch, my special skill is housework. Ouch, my special skill is housework. I'm no great detective, sure, but that's a low blow. Come on, I'm not just a male wife, okay? I have other skills, okay? Like washing dishes. Okay, that still falls into housework, okay. It lists other detectives' ranks and aliases too, not to mention intel and investigation statuses on recent atrocities. From the latest incidents all the way back to before I was born, it's a robust selection of key documents about cases infamous to the public. Far too much for one person to read, frankly. Even at a glance, most of the content seems to be highly technical in nature. This is way too much effort for a prank, meaning the DA really did recruit me? Can I trust what this guy says? Of course you should. I'm so wholesome and adorable. And just forget about the drugging part. Don't worry, I got another drug to help you forget your memory about that, so you can trust me again. So I've actually been recruited by the Detective Alliance. This isn't a joke, right, Senior Detective, sir? Oh, well, sorry, I was taking a nap. Taking so long reading that shit, Weeby. You're listening to a recording at present. An emergency came up, so I've hidden you in the woods while I go to address it. Ah, so that's how it is. I assumed this was a phone call, but I guess that's not the case. The device's settings must have been configured to play this voice message as soon as it finished authenticating. When you're ready, open the map on your D-pad, then make your way through the woods and head to the manor at the peak. Okay, we're gonna be like in a mansion or something, I guess. Once there, you should meet the others. I promise to head over myself once I'm able to, so wait for me in front of the manor. And one last thing, do not, under any circumstances, enter the structure you'll see along the way. Well, now I kind of want to. Oh. Unauthorized entry will result in far worse than a subtraction of points. You're gonna gun me down on the spot like Monokuma? Follow my orders like your very life depends on it. Okay. Senior Detective speaks without pause. The moment he's finished, the sound cuts out abruptly. I stand there in a daze, holding the tablet, my new D-pad, in one hand. I lift my head and peer through the tree line, making out the shape of a mountain, with an imposing manor resting on its summit. I kind of want to try it, though. Is that the building Senior Detective was referring to? Well, I don't fully trust him. My options are limited. Pressed for a choice, I open the map application on my tablet. Oh, morgue. That's creepy. Various graphics appear on the screen, displaying the surrounding area. Oh, don't avert your eyes from the morgue. We won't be needing that, don't worry. We're just gonna play a wholesome game of chess and then talk about the Quartering Duke. All that blue surrounding everything must be the ocean, which means I've been taken to a remote island. Is that the name of the island? Morgue Island. Morgue? Is that the name of this place? Never heard of it. Could I be in a foreign country or something? Does he not know what morgue means? Either way, getting all gloomy won't solve things. I use my fingers to zoom in on the map, hoping to find some more information to go off of. Gorhamgast Lab. Okay, so I guess that's like the manor, and the lab is the place he didn't want me to enter in. The screen then displays my current location and a few details about the vicinity. Just as Senior Detective said, there seems to be some sort of manor atop the peak, plus another structure near the tree line. Without any other clues to guide me, I decide to follow the Senior Detective's instructions for now. This guy is so, like, obviously evil. I'm starting to wonder if he's just going to be the mascot of this game. The grandpa, you know? Oh, I need to register my detective alias on here. But I don't have any talents, and I definitely regret putting something random. Nope, I got nothing. I wrote a pretty cool fanfic once, and maybe I could put that on there. It was good, okay? It was a Kingdom Hearts fic. The tablet hums quietly as I trek on. Before long, I see it parting in the trees. Oh, a helicopter pad. Is that how he got us here, I guess? A massive heliport stretches before me. To its right sits a relatively small 3-story building. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Battle Royale's, like, setup. Because I'm pretty sure they had, like, a helicopter pad and, like, the school building or whatever that was next to it. I mean, Battle Royale's kind of like the original, like, killing game, you know what I mean? I could see you taking inspiration from that, along with Danganronpa and even, like, Zero Escape and stuff. Though it blocks my line of sight, I assume that the manor is just up ahead at the top of the hill. The structure here must be the one Senior Detective warned me against entering. It's not like I really trust the guy, so I'm admittedly a bit curious to sneak a peek inside. Do I get a choice? Do I get a choice? I want to see what happens. If I die, I die, okay? But as soon as the thought crosses my mind, a sudden sense of unease washes over me. Oh, what the? On my tablet's map, I see numerous circular icons displayed within the building's walls. Doesn't mean everybody's there, right? What the hell's in there? And not just a handful either. Dozens of icons crowd around like ants swarming over food. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. About like 18 of them? It's kind of close to how many people would be in a death game. But I would assume that, they didn't go in there since I think we're going to get killed if we did. Judging by my own marker on the map, I think these icons are all people? But if that's the case, does this mean my apprehension refuses to die down? Is that like people who died trying to enter there? He's like, I told you bitches not to enter there. God, we always have to recruit like 50 people. Then over half of them always go into the lab. God, why can't you people just listen to me? I get the sense that going in there would only end in regret, just as Senior Detective had warned. So grateful we have that nice guy to keep us on track. I need to decide my next step carefully. Oh, do I get to decide? Hell yeah. I'm going in there, baby. If I die, I die. I will. Yes, I get to choose. Ignore it and head to the manor. No, baby, let's go in. He's like, really? Really, Weeby? No doubt about it. I've got to check this building out first. It'd be risky to just blindly trust Senior Detective after all. These circular icons are obviously people, which would indicate others are... They're already in there. They're doing good. They're chilling out. It's just the bodies of the kids from Battle Royale in there. It makes a lot more sense to meet with them here instead of wandering around on my own. I feel like the fact that it's gone black and white already means I'm on a bad end. Senior Detective must be trying to prevent me from joining up with anyone else. That's gotta be it. Why is he such a bully, man? I just want to meet up with my friends, my homies. I speak aloud, desperately trying to calm my frantic heartbeat. With great trepidation, I slowly approach the entrance. A dark shadow is faintly visible from the glass door of the building. Just as I had suspected, there are other people here. Okay. So are they alive? It kind of seems like it if they're standing up. Without a moment of hesitation, I push the glass door open and rush inside. Hello, I'm a new member of the Detective Alliance and he's gonna get murdered. My voice hitches and my eyes widen like saucers as my train of thought comes to a grinding halt. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God, it's gonna be like a bunch of bodies. Oh, I bet it's like tablets. That's what the indicator notes, like tablets of other people who have previously come to this island. And that's why it like notifies you, not because there's like a person there, but because their tablet is still next to the body. All from the shock of seeing the horrific scene that lay before me. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling. A large mound rests in the open space. Beyond the entryway, a haphazard pile, blackened and dead, or reeking of rotten cheese and fetid garbage. Ah, it's so creepy. Oh, the smoke's moving too. That's cool. I like how easy they make it to take down the text too, so you can kind of see the full picture. Convincing myself that it's fake, I draw closer, then I lock eyes with one. Its cloudy gaze, a stark reminder of our shared mortality. It's heartbreakingly clear this corpse once belonged to a living being. Oh, God. My stomach lurches, its contents spilling out from my mouth. I can't take it. Sinking to my knees, I suck in heavy breaths as my heart hammers so hard it threatens to burst. Senior Detective must have known. Regret fills me for not heeding his warning. Bro, he probably did this. How could I have gone against my senpai, who only wants the best for me? I want to run, to break away and leave this place forever. I desperately focus all my energy into every lungful of air I take. But my pulse won't slow down. In fact, it keeps growing faster. My chest burns like it's on fire. No matter how hard I try to inhale, my chest only aches more and more. Until finally I can no longer... Am I just gonna die from shock? I can no longer breathe. What is happening? Oh, wait, is there like poison in here or something? That might be what the mist is. What's happening? I can't. My instincts tell me I've got to get outside, but my limbs are numb from the lack of oxygen. Heavy and useless, as if I'm deep underwater. I crawl, inching along like a caterpillar, but the exit is too far away. A feeling of doom overwhelms me as my strength ebbs away. I can't breathe. I need air. I can't take any more of this. Please, help me. Desperate, I try to scream, but can't muster a sound. The pain is agonizing. All thoughts leave my head. Despite knowing no one will save me, my mind still cries out. Help, someone, please help. I can't breathe. It hurts. I need to get out. I don't want to die. Help, someone, please help me. Help me. Help me, help me, help me, help me. I want the old guy to show up, honestly, and be like, I told you not to fucking go in there, chump. Something snaps, my vision fails, but at least the pain in my chest is finally gone. I'm pretty sure I died, huh? I had a feeling it was a bad ending. But I wanted to try it anyways. I want to know what was in the building. What secrets is he hiding, Oh, what the hell was that? Oh, wait. Huh. It's like some Zero Escape shit. If I choose that, he has like a little vision about it. And then he's like, oh, that's weird. Good thing I didn't make that choice, huh, Weeby? Kind of seems like it. Interesting. Huh? With a start, I see the heliport stretching before me once more. I take deep breaths, trying to calm myself down. The air tastes good somehow. Not sure why, but I feel like I just woke up from a nightmare. Oh, right, I was deciding whether I should check out that building or head to the manor. I think I'm not even going to give you the choice anymore, Weeby. I don't blame you. Head to the peak or investigate the building. This could very well be a faithful fork in my path. Okay. I kind of want to see what happens if you go back to the building. It probably will just be the same thing, but it's just weird. It didn't kick me out of the playthrough. It just sent me back here, and then it seemed like he remembered what he saw. You know what I mean? I need to stay calm, think rationally, and make the right choice here. I'm getting new dialogue too. Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. It's already grayed out. That means nothing new is going to happen. Okay, fine, Grandpa. I'll trust you. But I don't want to. I decide to do what Senior Detective suggested and make my way towards the manor at the peak of the mountain. My mentor always chided me for being so rash. Maybe I wouldn't have been abducted if I had just waited for him like I was supposed to. Oopsie poopsie. What's more, I get this deep feeling of dread whenever I look at that building to the right of the heliport. I kind of wonder if, he has a different dialogue if you decide to, go in the building, you know what I mean? That'd be pretty cool. I guess I might double check, replay it and see. I should follow Senior Detective's advice, especially considering that he must have a better grasp. Why are you trusting this man? Why? He only drugged me once, Weeby, okay? It's fine. He's a good guy. He didn't mean it. He said sorry. No, actually, I didn't. But he felt it, okay? He felt it in his heart. I should follow Senior Detective's advice, especially considering that he must have a way better grasp of the situation than me. What is this place really? This island? I make my way up the mountain, quietly grumbling to myself when suddenly... Oh, we gonna meet somebody? Or wait. Oh, no. Oh, hey. A chill runs down my spine. I quickly turn to look behind me. Or maybe we'll just show this either way, no matter what you choose. He just already knows. He has that cognition ability. But the only thing in sight is that building. I get this strange feeling that going there would have had irrevocable consequences for me. He's got some kind of brain blast power because it keeps showing that weird thing for a second. My uneasiness lingers, but I turn my back and keep going in spite of it. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, here we are at the mansion. I continue up the twisting mountain path for about 15 minutes until at last I arrive at the manor door. It was a gentle incline, but I'm still spent. I guess he's about as in shape as us, so I wearily take a seat, resting my back against the outside wall of the manor. It's the exact kind of setting you'd expect in any mystery novel. The manor's exterior speaks to its age and smells faintly of lumber. Yeah, I feel like this is supposed to be kind of like a callback to Clue or something, having it take place in the mansion. During my approach, I could only gasp at the structure's imposing beauty. Upon closer inspection, I notice its windows are constructed from an unnaturally thick glass, impossible to break or peek through. Okay, I stand up and circle the perimeter, but there doesn't appear to be any points of entry aside from the front door. Creepy. If anything, it seems like it was built to house prisoners, not residents. Yeah, I wonder if there's just metal plates, behind the windows. This definitely isn't your average manor. What on earth could be awaiting within? I slow down and catch my breath. My hand is damp with sweat as I turn the knob of the manor's only entrance. A loud clink rings out as it swings open with ease. Okay, pretty. The interior seems normal enough. I want to meet the ultimates, or the detectives. Am I just overthinking things? Oh, he's so cute. As weakly as I take a step inside, he just looks so happy and contented, He's like, yeah, this is going to be super exciting. I can't wait to see Senpai again. As soon as I let go of the knob, the door closes on its own. Not one moment later. Brain blast! Huh? A sharp pain suddenly erupts in my head, causing me to stagger involuntarily. A shadow at my feet expands rapidly. My spine tingles as I feel something rush quickly towards me. Oh, shit. Hopefully it's another detective. Hopefully. Without even a moment of hesitation, I kick out and leap to the side. However... oh, shit! Oh my god, it's a trap? Ugh! Don't worry, just a little slight training thing just to help you get, introduced to the society. Something slams hard against the back of my skull. The impact sends me flying. My vision swims. My mind already fading. Oh, it hit him? I find myself unable to stand, then the world fades to white. Good job, Weeby, you died again. It's just because you thought about going to the other building. Don't even think about it. Okay, it's like people talking, I guess. Yo, guys, this chump ain't waking up. How's about I kick him around a bit? Don't be so violent, Rowdy. I hear voices nearby. Oh my god. Already have a Kazuna, don't we? I totes side with Doleful here. Violence is so not cool. Why don't we just, dump a bucket of water on him instead or something? That idea is just as extreme downtown. Let's try and consider our options rationally. Mayhaps his vital organs are unresponsive? I shall administer a cardiac massage at once. This is giving me serious Ultimate vibes. No need for that. I think he's waking up. Oh, look at them. Aw. Yay, we get to see everybody, or some of them at least. I open my eyes, but my vision is blurred. Who is the Kazuna voice? That girl, maybe? The brown hair? The dizzying pain in my head is unbearable. There is a constant ringing in my ears, and my body won't move an inch. A wave of nausea comes over me, but I manage to stop myself from groaning. What happened? Oh yeah, I think the girl with the short hair is like the medic one, I think. I can't remember what the other people's specialties were. I vaguely recall being hit by something the moment I stepped into the manor. At last, my vision finally clears up. I feel like something about this guy's eyes is kind of off. It almost seems like he doesn't have a pupil in one eye. I can't tell if it's just the angle or if that's actually the case, though. Who are you people? When my eyes refocus, I'm met with several unfamiliar faces and a sturdy rope binding me. You guys tied me up? I'm tied up, surrounded by a group of strangers. What in the world is going on? Oh! You lousy intruder. Okay, yeah, she probably is the Kazuna voice. Okay, interesting. Her design looks pretty interesting. I feel like she looks really different than she did in the CG. Maybe it's just because she's got the crazy eyes. A girl in a sports jacket grabs me by the throat, glowering menacingly. She looks to be in her early teens, but her strength is incredible. I can't get a peep out while trapped in her iron grip. Okay, there's gonna be some other people that are teenagers. I kind of thought all the detectives would be adults. But of course, never in Japan. I like her voice. It seems pretty cool so far. You got some stones. It was the saying you got balls. Jumping on us on our home turf. What are you spying for? Huh? Oh, interesting. So his eyes are like that normally. Calm down, rowdy detective. Okay, so she's the rowdy detective? To hell with that. This Jamoke? What does that mean? This Jamoke might have offed some of our own. Plus, he won't even give us an answer. I ain't gonna just let that slide. Okay, I think that's the kid in the wheelchair. Well, he can't talk if you're actively choking him now, can he? Okay, I guess you have a point. Okay, now she looks kind of more like how she did in the CG. I guess it was just because she had the crazy eyes. Huh? She could have backed down quickly. Crap, you got a point, techie detective. Sorry, intruder, my bad. 100%. My bad. I shouldn't have toked you, I guess. The girl in the sports jacket lets me go, then immediately falls to her knees, touching her head to the floor as she apologizes. Oh, wow. A lot more timid than I thought. I guess she's like one of those characters that blows really hot then really cold, you know what I mean? It's okay, you don't need to grovel about it. I'm still in the dark here, but I get that you have every reason to suspect me. But it don't make us right. One bad turn deserves another, so come on, hit me! I don't really want to. No way am I gonna do that. Besides, I can't. I'm all tied up, so please stop bowing. I have literally no idea what's happening. Who are all of you? Did they set up the trap actually that fell on me? Or maybe not, I can't really tell. I guess that would make sense. What is this island? What's going on around here? As I ask the so-called rowdy detective my questions, the boy in the wheelchair approaches us. I take it you aren't here of your own volition. You say you aren't informed on the situation, right? Yeah, all I know is that senior detective brought me here. Senior detective. He's like, who the fuck is that? Like, you just got duped, bro. The boy called techie detective cups his chin and thought. I checked your eyes to verify you were unconscious. We'll just assume it wasn't a self-induced ruse for now, but senior detective bringing you to HQ? Okay, so he doesn't know who he is. Ah, yes, he actually does work for the Alliance. That doesn't sit well with me. Where do you fit in with the rest of us? What do you have to do with a quartering Duke investigation? Earth Techie Detective. Ow, oh, sorry, I was lost in thought. Ratty Detective pokes Techie Detective, snapping him out of his trance. He dips his head in apology. I'm as confused as ever right now, but I have heard of these two detectives before. We're not gonna learn their real names. We're just gonna call them Rowdy and Techie. Just little nicknames, you know. Does that mean that all of them are... Oh, pretty. Anyways, should I let the guy loose? Keep grilling him while we're all tied up and people are gonna think we're into this kind of stuff. Hold on, downtown detective. Oh, just kidding. Huh? What? I'm sorry. It's just, we should wait a bit longer, I think. I didn't think it was her just because it seemed like the person was like more assertive based off the first line. The trendy girl responds with indignation. God dang it, every time. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, medic person. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to misgender you. The trendy girl responds with indignation, causing the frail boy to tear up. Nevertheless, he doesn't back down. Our enemy wields a deadly poison that can kill over 20 people. If this is him, he could wipe us all out just by scattering a trace amount of it. Freeing him without at least a pat down would be far too dangerous. Oh yeah, I guess I got a little antsy there. My bad. Even though her idea got rejected, the trendy girl called Downtown Detective laughs as if nothing happened. And thanks, doleful detective. Doleful. No wonder you're number 14. Mad props. Wow, 14 out of 100? Dang. Nonsense. I'm just paranoid still. I don't want any more victims. Like all those people. Okay, so that is what he's referring to. Like all those people in the research facility. How come you guys were able to see it, but not me? If anything, we need to be overly cautious. The somewhat androgynous youth speaks with a full voice of fear. Victims like those in the research facility. The comment catches my attention, but now isn't the time to be asking questions. Like that weird vision I had. Instead, I hold my tongue and continue to watch in silence. Oh yeah, I forgot about this guy. Get the armor suit guy. Fear not, Sir Doleful Detective, even should his intentions prove nefarious. I, Armor Detective, swear to protect you. I wonder if he's got like scars or something that he wants to cover up. I don't know, it just seems weird to be like a detective in a suit of armor. Like, aren't you supposed to be like quiet when you like tail people as a detective? Like, I feel like you would just hear like behind you. It'd be even worse than what this kid was doing to Grandpa in the first scene. The armored man rests one hand on the youth he called Doleful Detective, and the other on Downtown Detective. Thanks, Armor. Physical exertion is a lot for me, so I appreciate it. I guess it's kind of weird. It seems like, do all these people know each other already? I guess it's kind of a different dynamic than what it's been in like every other death game I've seen. It's just like everybody meets each other for the first time like during the death game, but I mean, it would make sense that all these people have been working together and like know each other. We get like the tea from all of them eventually on like what's going on in the Detective Alliance drama. Though the boy smiles at Armor Detective, Downtown Detective waves off the gauntlet, looking utterly repulsed. Yeah, nah, I'm good. You're suffocating me. We should back off at number 32. Okay, so it's gonna be like a mixture of different ranks too. I was kind of wondering if it was just gonna be like the first 16 or whatever and me. Oh, you recall my rank, despite mine being the only one here that is lower than 30. Oh, man. So you're the second worst after me. My heart is stirred. I swear my life to protect you. Okay. Take a hit. How annoying can you get? Armor Detective happily strides closer to the Downtown Detective. He doesn't seem to notice the look of genuine disgust on her face. Okay, this guy looks a little bit older, maybe. Kind of seems like it, maybe. Like a wrinkle. Moving on, we should touch base with the chief on our D-pads. We're lucky our device's signals allow us to communicate from the manor to the research facility. Okay. So is he in the research facility? A man who looks like a corporate employee joins the conversation. He looks like a bellboy. I feel like that's what he's dressed as, honestly. He holds a familiar tablet-like device in his hands. A D-pad, the trademark of the Detective Alliance. My heart beats fast in spite of myself, as I guess at the nature of my company. And thanks, workaholic detective. You're always so quick on your feet. Adulting 101. Plan, do, check, act. This guy's so millennial, actually. Maybe he's not that old. Why does it sound like a live, laugh, love poster, but for like detectives? As for our sleeping beauty here, I got in touch with the chief, and he is indeed a fellow member of the DA for like the past 10 minutes or something. To be safe, I'd like to confirm with you directly. This is no mistake, right? Right, no mistake about it, though I only just got my D-pad. Honestly, I'm completely new to this. Not even really sure why I got accepted in the first place. Everything clicks into place as I speak with the man referred to as a workaholic detective. I knew it, they really are part of the Alliance. And these aren't just any average members. They're so famous, even a nobody like me knows of them. There could only be one possible reason why a group of detectives like this would be gathered here. Oh my god, for the super secret special mission. It was the same thing I had been brought for. I love how, like, besides the armor guy, like, all the other detectives here are, like, the elite of the elite. Like, you know? Nobody else is past, like, 30 in the detective group. And then it's just like, yeah, number 100. Come join us. You know what I mean? It was the same thing I had been brought for, to discuss how to handle the quartering Duke. They're all here for that meeting, no doubt. The only question that remains is, I kind of think I like that voice better for him. Why would a new recruit who lacks even a proper alias be here at the Detective Alliance HQ? I feel like the Mikado voice, it needs them to be like sassier, you know what I mean? Were you also invited to participate in our discussion regarding how to deal with the quartering Duke? Yeah, a senior detective explained it to me. Oh, that's right, I have my own D-pad too. So the one in your shirt pocket really was yours. My apologies, I took the liberty of searching you. What? When? I don't know how, but Workaholic Detective is clearly holding my device. The fact that he could swipe it without my noticing is terrifying. Yeah, I guess we're not going to learn their names. I guess it kind of goes back to like what the old guy was saying at the beginning. Like, a detective should never say what his true name is. You know, because of reasons, it'll, you know, get you killed or something. Now then, if you would allow me to borrow your hand for just a moment. Workaholic Detective grabs my hand to bypass the D-pad's fingerprint authentication, navigating to the message application with practice ease. He seems to be checking my invitation to the Quartering Duke's meeting, which I had been reading just before I fell unconscious. I see, it's the exact same message as the one I received. It appears you truly will be joining us. That's weird. Relief washes through me at Workaholic Detective smile, but it doesn't last long. That being said, anyone capable of infiltrating this island would have no trouble faking a simple email. Okay. Yes, so you're cleared, but actually on second thought. But maybe not. Workaholic Detective smile turned grim. His piercing gaze cuts right through me, making my body flare up with goosebumps. Making lousy knockoffs. Hey, you're asking for a one-way ticket to hell, pal. Courtesy of my fist. It's not like y'all confirmed that I made a knockoff. You just said it was a possibility. You don't give off that unique presence. You kind of seem like a normie, bro. The rest of us detectives have. Just, who are you? We lack sufficient data for any conclusions. For now, we have no choice but to keep him under surveillance until we can find out some more. Lacey seems more rational than the others. The other detectives watch me warily. Their eyes make it abundantly clear that they're on high alert. I guess it makes sense, especially if I'm like the only one that, you know, they've never met before that's stuck in this mansion with them. I completely understand why they suspect my exceptional circumstances, but that doesn't make their looks sting any less. Dwelling on doleful detectives' unsettling remarks earlier leads me to wonder what happened to the Detective Alliance. Man, I feel like take a shot every time you say detective. Look, being on edge won't help us at all. So why don't we just, I don't know, bring him along? We still gotta find Old Man Senior, so it's not like we have time to stand around arguing. Our minds are as one, Lady Downtown Detective. I fully concur. Let us treat him as a compatriot until more evidence appears. You guys are so trusting. Our minds are miles apart, weirdo, but whatevs. Call me an airhead, but I'm with armor on this. I think it'd be chill to take him with. Besides, I know my mystery stories. Splitting up would be like total suicide. Sewer slide. Mystery stories, you say. Techie detective smiles wryly as Rowdy grabs the rope tying me up. Yeah, Downtown's got the right idea. She is like really short too. I kind of wonder if that's why she's got such a big, intimidating personality. I feel you, girl. I'm 5 foot as well. Yeah, Downtown's got the right idea. Rowdy detective tears my restraints apart as if they're made of paper. I can now move freely except for my bound hands. But still, what raw physical strength. It's hard to believe a girl smaller than me can be so powerful. Mistrust in each other is exactly what the quartering Duke wants. So for now, I'll trust you too. So I wish you'd ask before acting, but at least I do agree with the notion. My search didn't turn up anything suspicious. Until further notice, you'll be coming with us. Seeing as this is a race against the clock, I'll have to catch you up as we move along. Thank you. The detectives head out, one after another. Now that the mood has lightened up a bit, I can't help but let out a sigh of relief. I've seen plenty of suspects get interrogated in mystery novels and shows, but never did I expect to be the one in the hot seat. Life sure keeps you on your toes, huh? She's so pretty. I like her hair, too. Oh, it's kind of like my hair, except she did the bun. I definitely like her design the best. She's slaying. Oh, God, I shouldn't say that. My bad. I didn't tell her to slay. I said she's slaying. She's going to know the difference there, right? That reminds me, what should we call you, intruder? You don't have a detective alias yet, right? This is your chance to pick one. Well, my name, I had a feeling. I feel like he's just going to say his name and be like, oh, okay, I guess you're the only one whose name we're going to know. Well, my name is... I barely stopped myself from answering the downtown detective with my real name. Keeping your name secret is the first rule of the detective agency. It can be deadly for your identity to get out between cases. You already told the most suspicious guy, though, your name. So that's good. That's why upon joining the DA, members are given a one-word code name based on a defining characteristic of theirs. He's like, mine is okay. That code name is known as a detective alias. I've longed to have one of my own ever since Mr. Genjoji told me about them. My detective alias is, Normie. Despite my yearning for one, it's hard to think of anything on the spot. I have no experience, skills, or defining characteristics. Oh my God. Male wife detective, duh, he's good at the housework. Come on, dude. You know it's true. To be perfectly honest, I couldn't even begin to guess why I was lit into the detective alliance. What? Is it that hard? You're older than me. Shouldn't you have more life experience? Oh, wow. He's older than her? How old is she then? Are all the detectives like 15? Like, what the hell? The best detectives in the world. Their ages 14, 12, 15. And then the one old guy who's obviously evil. Shouldn't you have more life experience? Like, seriously, dude. I can't even with you. Sorry. This is really embarrassing. Well, let's think of one together. What are your skills? Anything you're good at in all the cases you've been in so far? What's a case? Oh my God. I'm good at finding cats. They like me. Cat detective. Honestly based. Downtown detective gives a deep sigh. My amateur skills fill me with shame. Alrighty then. How about we call you... Ah! Okay, just roast me. All right, then. How about we call you incompetent detective? What? Incompetent. Oh, yeah. You know, wasn't that? Oh, my God. That was literally what Ray called Maida, too. Look at you, bro. You're a Maida Kenny. Aw, cute. Now, that's just cruel. You might as well be saying I'm good for nothing. I mean, not that it isn't true, but still, they don't have to be so mean about it. I'd obviously prefer a different name, but before I can object... Hey, everyone, until we think of something better, this here is incompetent detective, okay? I thought you were nice, girl. Thought you were best girl material. Nice and humble, fitting for a young gun, itching to find its place in the world. I see, so it's a caricature of your traits, in the same vein as doleful and workaholic. Wow, you truly are totally incompetent. God, that fits you so perfectly. Right, you're one of us now, incompetent? Hey, come on now. It feels even more hurtful when you just call me that. A name with which we can call upon your aid deepens our bonds. I'm at your service. Sir Incompetent. Oh, Sir Incompetent. Look at me, I'm all fancy now. Picking on the new guy. Takes me back. Oh, man. Incompetent detective rapidly gains the approval of the rest. So rapidly that it's too late to dispute it, much to my chagrin. Aw, look how fast your new name caught on. I am so happy for you. Incompetent. I don't know, maybe she gets the Kazuna voice, actually. She's kind of giving me more Kazuna vibes. It doesn't make me happy at all. Damn it, I don't want to be a Maida Kinney. Despite my protest, downtown detective ignores me, flashing a devilish smile. Thus, I did become incompetent detective, an official member of the Detective Alliance. And I'm going to be carrying all your asses during the trial or whatever they have in this game. I'm not going to be so incompetent then, huh? Maybe they'll give me like a new name after I prove myself. Oh yeah, I think this one had like traps around the mansion, if I recall correctly. Oh yeah, I think this might be where the trials are held. Like the thing kind of like the trials. A bright red carpet covers the floor and landscape paintings adorn the walls of the corridor. What's that noise? Oh, is it the armor guy walking? See, he's so loud. How is he detective? The detectives explain the situation as we walk down the passageway. The scent of the roses on display around us, drifting in the air. This location to which we've brought is an island that doesn't appear on any map. The DA's used it as a base of operation for years. Okay, interesting. Looks like a volcano or something. It has 2 buildings, Snark's, a research facility for investigating support and gear development, and a Gorgamgast, a mansion for overnight stays. Oh yes, of course. You know, I'm sure everybody wants a luxury stay at Morgue Island. So romantic. Makes you think of the fragility of life, you know what I mean? The original plan was for everyone to discuss the situation in the manor. We were to review dioramas of various quartering Duke cases. That was the plan? Rowdy detective suddenly punches the wall beside her, causing the other nearby walls to tremble from the impact. When we got here, a bunch of detectives from HQ had been snuffed out by poison. All 22 members at the research facility gone. Okay, so they do know about that. Interesting. Okay, so it was poison too. So they just didn't die when they, you know, went to go check on them? How come I died? How come I'm the only one, man? All 22 of them? Every hair in my body stands on end at the unthinkable news. Even among history's more famous mass murders, few had a death toll of more than 20. Killing 22 people at once is beyond all reason. The Duke is here. The culprit piled their bodies at the facility's entrance, as if they were not but rubbish. Such savagery is no less than inhumane. Maybe they were able to just like peek inside. Our character's just a dumbass and he was like, da-da-da-da, decided to walk in and breathe in. Breathe in the air, you know what I mean? Seeing that heap of corpses would have killed your appetite big time, incompetent. All the poison gas filled the room would have killed you for real. Lucky you didn't go in there, huh? A heap of corpses, just imagining it makes me feel faint. I'm so glad I didn't have to see that. And that's not even taking the deadly gas into account. Maybe senior detective knew about the gruesome scene, so he sent me straight to the manor instead. Wasn't he just so kind and understanding? That would also explain why he hid me in the forest and went off on his own. I need to find him soon and thank him for keeping me safe. It was another quartering Duke attack, right? We're not sure yet. For how many deaths there were, the clues are awfully scarce. Quartering Duke cases always result in 2 concurrent victims. This crime would appear to have a different modus of operandi. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Duke is behind, like, the kidnapping or whatever for these guys. I guess he could have, like, other people also helping. I mean, he could just go against his normal shtick, too, but, you know. Ha! The quartering Duke did him in. No doubt, if I catch that bastard skulking around the island, I'm gonna clean his clock. It's said that the quartering Duke has killed over 100 people, but even that was over the course of half a year. On the other hand, murdering 22 people at once, all of them first-rate detectives, no less, could hardly be the work of an amateur. I get the impression that he commits grisly deeds for the thrill of it, but otherwise his identity is a complete mystery. It seemed like he had some kind of moral motivation, but, you know, obviously a very thin one, but still. Oh, we began our investigation at the research facility, but then the chief's D-pad received a message from a surviving Alliance member. Techie detective draws out his own D-pad and plays an audio file. Okay. Kurt, senior detective, someone attacked the research facility, all dead. Okay, I guess it does explain why he told us not to go to the research facility. It isn't, you know, 100% confirmed that Grandpa was the one who did it. Fine. I'll give him that. I hit in Gorgamat. Chief, meet here. Help. This guy's probably dead, huh? The recording cuts off there. Although the sound was low and full of static, even I could grasp what it signified. That's Senior Detective's voice, isn't it? He's alive then, thank goodness. Okay, was Senior Detective saying that? I thought it was somebody calling Senior Detective. And I'm certain that's him, making it through the situation unscathed. It's no wonder he's a legend among detectives. Is he really that incredible? You know the Dayless Night incident? It still shows up on the news. Not only did he solve it, he's also a founding member of DA. The Dayless Night incident? Even school textbooks talk about that case, and you're saying he cracked it? I wonder if I have to read the info thing or if it's going to tell me what it is. I could see those just being like, used like a reminder to help you kind of remember the lore if you stop playing for a while or something. I was a kid then, so I don't remember much, but it was the worst terror attack in national history, sparked by a new religious movement. Oh, like a cult or something? From that event onward, criminal atrocities swept the nation, which is part of why the Detective Alliance was formed. Wait a second, I kind of want to look at this. It's not the case he was involved in, right? So I guess it's not the kidnapping case, at least. I wonder if it's going to connect to that, though, because he did say he was a kid at the time, and that's when the kidnapping case happened. Was there a name for that one? I can't remember. I'm sure they'll bring it up again, but you know. Let's look at some of these. Rowdy Detective. I guess these stats are for like the investigation part. That was the like coolest thing about this game, in my opinion, was that like during the investigation, it seemed like, I don't know, there was more like thought and effort put into how to go about it, you know what I mean? So I think it's like you can choose to pair up with one of these guys, and then like depending on their abilities, you're able to do, you know, certain things easier, other things are more difficult. But then they also mentioned that there was like the serial killer detective who like might attack you sometimes while you're investigating too. I don't know, it made the investigation part seem really fun, whereas I feel like that's always been like the most boring part of Danganronpa games. I thought it was pretty cool that they put so much like effort into making it more detailed. The popular name for a series of incidents caused by the Morningstar Dawn Society, which at the time commanded public support and even exercised influence in the political sphere. Sect founder Junichi Nanase, who went by the name Lucifer, targeted opponents by kidnapping, confining, torturing, and brainwashing them. He is also believed to have carried out a number of cruel human experiments, though the building where this is purported to have taken place has since collapsed in a disaster. Lucifer utilizes TV stations and internet broadcasts to steal the hearts of viewers with his witty comments and charismatic mannerisms, steadily growing his hordes of believers. 13 years ago, Lucifer attempted to take advantage of the chaos after a major earthquake by plotting to release poison gas. Okay, so he used poison gas, and then we saw poison gas in the research facility. Coincidence? Probably. Resulting in his capture by the world's premier detective, Vidok Q. Vidok Q received global recognition for this accomplishment, eventually leading to the establishment of the DA. Although 13 years have passed since he was apprehended, Lucifer's followers have continued committing crimes in his name, unbated. It sounds so similar to like what's going on now with the Quartering Duke. I don't know, I guess that guy's not trying to make like a religion or anything, but the fact that this went on for so long and inspired so many people kind of reminds me of that. The true irony is that by solving this case, Vidok Q triggered an exponential increase in domestic crime, thereby fueling the ongoing detective craze. Okay, so solving the case was what caused the detective craze. I don't know, maybe they're not behind it. I can't tell. I'm probably overthinking this. I definitely am, I usually do. Is he Vidok Q or is that like his buddy? So Vidok Q is just like another detective, it seems like. He, like Vidok Q, survived the Dayless Night incident. Okay, it's just such a weird name for a detective. I feel like everybody else, you know, has just kind of like a word to describe them. Then that guy's Vidok Cube. From that event onward, criminal atrocities swept the nation, which is part of why the Detective Alliance was formed. Solving a case of that magnitude would absolutely qualify him as a legend. Originally, we'd split up from the other detectives and headed to the manor to reconvene with Senior. Soothly, it must be a villain most foul for even Sir Senior to be forced into hiding. We must hasten to his aid forthwith! This guy's such a dork. I mean, there are other detectives here besides you guys? For sure. There's what, 6 more investigating the research facility? It's like a detective BOGO sale in there. Wow. Okay, so if they're in the building, I thought there was still like poison gas or something in there, but unless they're like investigating outside of it? I don't get what she means by that, but I guess it's a lot of detectives. I'm still reeling from the heinous murders we have yet to unravel, but at least now there's a glimmer of hope. I believe we searched every room, but there's no sign of Senior. Maybe the culprit arrived here before we did? Senior could have realized that and escaped. If the message was intercepted, the culprit could have easily gotten ahead of us. Oh yeah, I can see that happening. It took us, what, 10 minutes to get here? But there's only one path from the facility to here, and it's surrounded by sheer cliffs. No one could escape without us noticing. The detectives processed the situation with impressive speed. I'm barely keeping up as I struggle to understand what it all means. Downtown's casual chit-chat is about the only thing that makes any sense to me. Maybe we won't be like, you know, Makoto and Danganronpa. Because, like, literally, we're the only incompetent one. Unless these people are all going to be, like, biased by their, like, past jobs. But they do seem a lot better at detective work than I am. This room doesn't get wireless internet either. Why bother having a phone then? Ugh, this is such a major bummer. How am I supposed to make my TikToks? Even if there were a router here, I doubt it would do you any good. Oh yeah, why? Because the island's off the grid? Not exactly. I tried connecting to a wired network in the research facility, but I couldn't get it to work at all. I made another attempt here at the manor a moment ago, but that failed too. The island's communications antenna must be down. But our D-pads can still link up to each other, right? What's the diff between that and our smartphones? Well, the D-pads have a unique common communication system. As per the R&D team, I must say it's truly amazing tech. Basically, it works by not listening. Boring. Okay, so I guess we can like communicate through that though. That's kind of cool. I guess it's like a walkie-talkie kind of thing. Okay, we get it. So I can't even like chat with my followers while we're here. Could this be any lamer? Oh, she is like an influencer. I should have known. I prefer to see this as an opportunity for us fellow detectives to deepen the bonds of our camaraderie. Oh yeah, what are the ages of all these people? I was kind of curious about that. 67. Oh wait, a case is solved. 67. Okay, my bad. Case is solved. 123. Jesus. Okay, it doesn't say the ages actually of everybody else. 31, 19, 26. Rank 25, 32, 22, 20, 14, 10. Okay, that makes sense that he would be like the highest rank so far since he's the oldest. I prefer to see this as an opportunity for us fellow detectives to deepen the bonds of our camaraderie. I guess it can. That's sent. You gotta be kidding me. Roddy detective started crawling on all fours like a dog right at the entrance of the door. She smelled a trap. She presses her face to the carpet with a sharp expression on her face. Totally. What's wrong, Rowdy? Blood. I can smell it. Oh. Huh? Somebody else get trapped already? Silence fills the room. The others all turn to look at Rowdy. Nearly missed it thanks to the rosy smell and the red carpet. But the floor's got blood on it. See? From the entrance to the flowers. Okay. A knife. Rowdy approaches an empty vase and sticks her hand in it, pulling out a bloody knife. Just like a dog. Outfit change. So I took a slight break in between recording this just because I didn't realize exactly how long this demo was. It's actually pretty lengthy. So that's why my outfit's different. I came back to it like a few days later. But yeah, let's keep going into this game. Bingo. Don't know which poor mug's sauce this is, but I'll tell you one thing. Some goon was on the loose in here. How did you even notice the smell? The blood is already dry. Between hunting down my old man since I was little, I've got the nose of a bloodhound, eyes of a hawk, ears of a rabbit, and a raw macho spirit. I guess you like grew up on the farm. Man, maybe I should give you a southern accent then. It just fits. I'm not so convinced that helping on hunting trips would give you those kinds of abilities, but it's astonishing nonetheless. They do remind me of Ultimates. They're all kind of little weirdos in their own ways, you know what I mean? Rowdy, the knife wasn't used here, was it? Yep, nothing in this room but traces and stains. Guessing they only came by to hide the knife. I feel like I've changed her voice like 3 times already. I can track the scent, but the hall's chock full of roses. It ain't gonna be easy with them smelling up the place. I guess they might have done that on purpose since she's here to cover up other suspicious smells. Oh, I figured as much. But that said, Techie, might you have an alternative method? Of course. I go by this alias for a reason, after all. Techie detective proudly pulls a cute little machine that resembles a puppy out from his pocket. Oh, it's adorable. New keyword unlocked. This is my tracking forensic friend, Sniffy Whiffy. Oh my goodness. Sniffy Whiffy. Yeah, he's a badass. As you can see. What an adorable name. I guess Techie is probably like 12 or something. The Alliance helped me develop him. He can tirelessly trace down any scent he registers, and his prime directive is to save lives. Well, granted, I'm like 28? I would also name it Sniffy Whiffy, I won't lie. Furthermore, he has small rubber treads to cover tricky terrain without disturbing the scene, and can move up to 5 kilometers per hour. That's pretty fast. He's also equipped with a transmitter, so you can monitor him from an iPad, from a D-pad, I mean. God, I didn't say iPad, please. Please don't hunt me down, Apple. He uses the same lithium-ion batteries that the International Spa. Okay, that's enough of that. Yes, it's all very well impressive. We'd love to hear more about it later. But for now, why don't we start tracking? Oh, right, sorry. I get a little carried away when I talk about my inventions. Techie Detective returns to reality, hanging his head in shame. Aw. Now, let's not waste any time. Use this tool. On the puffy face. He's not a tool. He's my best friend. Don't treat him like some piece of equipment. Like some piece of metal. How dare you? I like this kid so far. He's adorable. Workaholic Detective bows several times. An apology for misspeaking. True to his name, he's the very picture of a hurried office worker. Techie Detective may seem calm and collected, but careless remarks about his inventions are a clear sore spot of his. I'd better watch my words. I think he's my favorite so far. Sorry everyone for blowing up like that. I hate that you had to see that. It's just, if somebody's insulting Sniffy Whiffy, I gotta give it to them, okay? Sorry everyone for blowing up like that. Let's get to tracking that scent. Techie Detective calms down, setting his dog-like tracking machine, Sniffy Whiffy, loose near the bloodstain. I love that name so much. Sniffy Whiffy scoots across the floor just like a real dog. He circles around a couple of times and thumps into the room's door. Dude, if somebody kills Sniffy Whiffy, now that's gonna be the saddest murder in this game. Nobody better fucking touch Sniffy Whiffy. Dude, if Techie dies, Sniffy Whiffy is gonna be like those little pets in Among Us that just like sits next to where his body was found, like sadly just like, He's on the hunt. Let's open the door and see where he goes. I open the door and Sniffy Whiffy darts out of the room, barreling down the hall towards the stairs. All I can pick up is roses, but he must have zeroed in on the trail of blood. How about that? My nose wasn't getting jack squat. I can't believe a robot dog out-sniffed me. Strictly speaking, it's not the scent, but rather the air particles that he tracks. Hence why he isn't thrown off by the other smells in the vicinity. So much for that whole nose of a bloodhound spiel. Can't it? My nose is what got us in the lead in the first place. Lame loser. Sniffy Whiffy. Every time I say that name, I feel like Sniffy Whiffy. I gotta say it with like a baby voice. Sniffy Whiffy stops at the painting just before the stairs to the entrance hall. Oh, like a secret entrance, maybe? Sir! Not Sir Sniffy. Sir Sniffy has halted. I love how formal he's being with Mr. Sir Sniffy. That's beautiful. Sir Sniffy has halted. Could this be the site of the stabbing? No tin for brains. I don't see a blood stain, do you? The knife must have been used somewhere else, like behind the painting. Behind it? Whatever could you mean? Is there a world within the painting? Jesus Christ, bro. How did you become a detective again? To think the stuff of children's fairy tales could actually exist is Narnia back there. Oh, relax, Armor. The answer is clear if you think it through logically. Workaholic touches the painting as he inspects the frame. He then gently taps the artwork before pressing his ear against it. No question about it. There's a hollow space behind the painting, which means that if I shift it like this... Still touching the painting, Workaholic Detective moves his hand. Okay. Okay, yeah, it is like a straight up door. I thought it might be like a crawl space or something for a second. The entire wall around it slips back like a sliding door, revealing a hidden passage. Sniffy Whiffy, who has been waiting in place, begins moving again, right down to the newly discovered path. How did you figure that out? Trade secret you pick up a lot when you've been on the job as long as I have. Dang, Gramps, you got me rethinking my take on you. And no cap. Oh my god, not the Gen Z. The Gen Z language. And no cap, for real. I might even like, I don't know, kind of, sort of like respect you now. Get away from me, Charlie D'Amelio. I wish you wouldn't call me that. I'm still in my 20s, you know? Barely, but it still counts. Literally me. Workaholic detective turns red in the face as downtown detective slaps him on the behind. That blade was used somewhere up ahead. As we know, not what may occur. I shall stand in the vanguard. Wait up, bucko. It's wild enough for two, see? I'm taking the lead too, so keep your eyes peeled. Rowdy detective tries to push forward, but is stopped by the doleful detective. Actually, would you mind guarding the entrance with Techie in downtown, Rowdy? I think my abilities could come in handy there. Armor and doleful detective are to spearhead our foray into the secret passage, with me and workaholic detective following after. Okay, Rowdy, downtown, and Techie would remain at the entryway, acting as lookouts in case the tunnel is a trap. Okay, smart. As for why I'm being brought along, it's probably because I won't be able to escape in this tunnel. I guess so. I'm struck by the fact that Workaholic, the most experienced of the group, has definitely assumed a position beside me. I like that the second oldest guy besides Grandpa is like my age. You know, with his years and years and years of experience. About to be on his deathbed, you know, with Grandpa. But thank God we have his wisdom. These detectives don't miss a single beat. All right, Armor and I will lead the way. As he speaks, Doleful and Armor enter the tunnel together. Workaholic and I continue right behind them. The four of us descend down a spiral staircase that winds its way underground. Okay. Oh, hey! This is the same place we saw in the dream, right? It's just not all neon lit up. Interesting. It definitely looks like it. Where we saw the target dog. At the bottom is a gloomy underground tunnel. We proceed into it, using the light function on our D-pads to guide our way. The only sounds are our footsteps echoing in the tunnel, as well as Sniffy Whiffy's treads crawling across the floor ahead of us. Oh my god, Sniffy Whiffy and the target dog are about to have a brawl, a dog off. You go, Sniffy Whiffy, fuck him up. The air is dusty and reeks of mold, making it hard to breathe. Clearly this place is seldom used. My love of cleanliness aches to ventilate the place. Doleful Detective's eyes narrow as he travels the tunnel. His usual fearful countenance is tense, as if he's an entirely different person. Impressive, is it not? Doleful's intense concentration, that is. Workaholic whispers to me as if he's reading my mind. Ranked 14, he solved over 100 cases and survived just as many bloody encounters as us veteran detectives. Damn. He seems pretty impressive then. Huh, interesting. He also seems pretty young. Over 100 cases solved? The idea alone leaves me speechless. It's like, man, he's not even that much older than me. I'm a loser. He can't be that far apart. We can't be that far apart in age. And yet his track record is on a whole other level. What sort of heroic life has this seemingly gentle boy led up to now? What did Doleful mean when he said his abilities could come in handy here? You'll see soon enough. He possesses what we in the Alliance would call the makings of a great detective. Okay. Doleful Detective stops in his tracks. He seems pretty important so far. No! Armor, stop! What? What happened, Sir Doleful? Your leg is bleeding! Oh, yikes. Armor shines his D-pad's light on Doleful's leg, revealing a trail of blood beneath his knee. Something reflects in the light just ahead of them. Huh. Oh, there's something at your feet! My guess is that it's a trap to ward off intruders. Judging by the texture, it must be some kind of wire. Okay. I think I've seen those before in like games and stuff. Yeah. He's right. When I get close to the reflection, I see red dripping off an extremely fine wire. It was so razor thin and difficult to see that the... Actually, I remember the game now. You guys might remember the game too. It was so razor thin and difficult to see that, were it not for the blood, it would have been nearly imperceptible, even in direct light. This is the wire saw the Detective Alliance is currently developing. You know, just gonna try it out on you guys first to make sure, you know, we can use it on dirty criminals later. Why would the Alliance make something like this? Because they're fucking evil, probably, maybe, allegedly. For cutting locks to enter sealed rooms, or as a means of escape when restrained. Word is that it requires specialty gloves to handle. Best to avoid touching it, given its intended use. It's so sharp that with enough pressure, it could cut straight through human flesh. Jesus. You got lucky. Oh, it's a good thing I noticed then. Workaholic Detective produced medication and bandages from his pocket and begins applying first aid to doleful detective's leg. He's always prepared. This is a rather nasty cut, but you're lucky to get off this lightly. Anyone else would have been liable to lose a leg in your position. You know, I guess we'll see kind of like what Doleful's life was like before he became a detective. It does seem like he's kind of prone to getting injured though, because he already has like bandages. Well, he's got bandages in his hair too. I don't know about that one. I don't know if he got really injured there, but he's got bandages on his hand, his finger, on his face, both of his hands, his wrists. I kind of wonder, I guess there could always be the possibility of like self-harm too, but I feel like his backstory might be pretty interesting. This is a rather nasty cut, but you're lucky to get off this lightly. Anyone else would have been liable to lose a leg in your position. Situations like this are about the only times my special skills end up being useful. Okay, special skill, what do you mean by that? For some reason, Doleful struggles to reply. Workaholic steps in to answer on his behalf. Okay. Doleful is a danger magnet with a knack for close calls. Okay, so exactly what I was saying before. So this is how he gets like all of his injuries. From traps to wanted criminals to finding murder scenes and even evidence. His innate intuition and powers of insight are what have allowed him to survive such less than fortunate circumstances. Okay, so that's how he's been able to get his ability from just having really, really terrible luck. That sucks. I do feel like he would be a really interesting character to like get free time events or something similar with, you know what I mean? So that's how he has the makings of a great detective. In stories, detectives are always expected to survive, even when wrapped up in a personal case, and even when their life is on the line. And now I'm standing in front of a real-life detective who embodies that very trope. I hope I can get his autograph. It's not that impressive. In fact, I'd say I just bring misfortune to everyone and everything around me. It's kind of a miserable existence. Oh, I feel bad for him. Doleful's expression flickers as he touches a bandage on his wrist. Oh, I don't know. Him talking about his existence being miserable, then touching his wrist bandages. Oh, God. That makes me so worried for you, buddy. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it is self-harm, too. The countless traces of medical attention covering his body shows just how much suffering he's constantly endured. Still, it's made me more sensitive to threats than the average person. I can always sense when I'm in danger, so just think of me as your shield. Okay. I see the resolve within Doleful's eyes as he speaks. He and I look similar. I might even be the older one, but nothing in me competes with that look. We couldn't be farther apart. Sir Doleful, you needn't be so reserved. Armor Detective abruptly steps forward. He then swings his arm up before bringing it down to chop the wire before us. I was gonna say, is his armor strong enough to break it? Probably not. Who's about to lose a leg? Armor Detective, that wire can cut steel. Just because you're wearing protective covering doesn't mean... Fear not, the suit in which I am clad in is a product of my family's long-held secrets. Behold the strongest armor known to man. Oh, I'll see about that. The wire parts with ease. Oh, okay, nice. Sure enough, Armor Detective doesn't have a single scratch on him, but both Doleful and Workaholic widen their eyes in incredulity. Cannot speak. No matter the trap, mine armor shall prevail. Set your minds at ease and allow me to take the lead. But putting me in front will minimize the total risk of our team as a whole. Oh, that's nice. Armor seems like a sweetheart so far. I like all the characters so far, honestly. I like their personalities. They bounce off of each other really well. I can't stand idly whilst my companions are hurt. Despite my inadequacies, I hasten here to be as an aegis for each of you. Armor Detective speaks with a calmness that eases Doleful's taunt expression. Despite the latter's brave front, he might have been nearing his limit. Aw, yeah. Thank you, Armor. It's like, you know, I feel like Doleful's always taking on the dangers because he's just like used to it. But, you know, Armor's so sweet to be taking that pressure off of him. Thank you, Armor. In that case, I'll stay back a bit and keep an eye out. Aw, that's so nice. Besties. Armor Detective takes the lead as Doleful acts as a lookout behind him. Armor, I sense a threat right in front of me about head height. Okay. His little Armor got angry. Another wire, eh? Understood. Oh, shit. Okay, cool. Cool. Slash. Without a second thought, Armor swings his hand towards the area Doleful indicated. Chop, chop, chop! Sometimes Doleful's warning comes too late and Armor runs into a wire, but even then it never leaves a mark. Okay, nice. So the perfect person to come along with us. We continue safely through the darkness until... But what about Sniffy Whiffy? He better be okay. Based on the signal, the tracker has stopped 5 meters ahead. It would seem we've arrived at the scene where the knife was used. We finally make it to the end of the tunnel with 0 injuries, save for Doleful Detective, of course. Sniffy Whiffy is parked right in front of a steel door. Oh, thank God you're okay. Which means the bloody knife we found earlier must have been used right behind it. Okay. I hate to ask Armor, but would you mind taking point? No need to apologize. So, Workaholic, my armor exists for the very moments I must forge such paths. I wonder what he looks like underneath the armor. And yet, Armor Detective looks tense as he cautiously touches the doorknob. Okay, let's see what's in here. Oh, shoot. Goosebumps ripple across my body. Deep down, I get the overwhelming urge to scream, "Don't open it!" Oh, God. It's as if my mind somehow knows that what we're about to see is truly horrific. I feel like it's going to be like the bad ending we got earlier, kind of. You know, something similar to that. I have an extremely bad feeling about this. I shall open the door on the count of 3. A 1, a 2. The doorknob makes a click as it turns. My heart rate leaps, but I can't bring myself to look away. Oh, God. 3. A blinding light flashes as the door opens, forcing me to avert my eyes. On top of that, a metallic stench envelops me. Oh, God, it is going to be something like that. The way it sticks to my throat makes me cough. Oh, it's going to be so gory. However, none of the other detectives show even a hint of fear as they proceed beyond the door. I guess they're used to it. Oh, gosh. So much blood on the walls. No bodies, though. Just leftover blood. I hurry to follow them, but at that moment... Oh, wait, no, maybe there is some bodies down here. Or what is that? It's so hard to see. It's so bright. Yeah! Doleful's cry echoes out. Ooh, okay, there is some bodies. As I step into the room, the first thing I see is the ground dyed in crimson. Ugh, the red spreads across so much of the floor that at first I mistake it for a carpet pattern. But there's no way that's the case. Despite my hateful disbelief, the smell filling the air tells me that this is blood. I wonder, well, they're not in like the little costumes, but I was like, it'd be kind of interesting if this was like where the Quarterly Duke does like some of his broadcasts, you know what I mean? With each breath, the metallic stench fills my lungs, my stomach, my whole body. I'm assailed by an overwhelming urge to vomit. If I lose focus for even a moment, I know I'll wind up spilling my guts over. Ugh. Upon closer inspection, I noticed something floating in the ocean of gore. Okay, you can't really make out what's going on. Are they like, oh God, they are. They're like cut off. I was like trying to figure that out. I was like, there's so much blood everywhere, but you can see like the hands totally chopped off. Ew. It seemed like there might have been multiple people too. It's large and reminds me of a caterpillar. 4 other long, thin objects surround it. In a way, they resemble a quartet of lifeboats, all rowing in different directions away from a sinking ship, but in truth, they're scattered about and across the floor. Jesus! Before us is a scene devoid of life. There was like a static, too. What was that? Kind of sounded like the game. Let me turn up my volume. Before us is a scene devoid of life. A man whose name I don't know gazes at me, his head half submerged in a sanguine sea. My eyes are transfixed as I stand there in a daze. There's a biting chill, as if the temperature has dropped by quite a few degrees. My hands and legs tremble. I barely stand. Oh, he's gonna pass out. Then they'll see I'm not a threat, at least. I like this song, dude. This is awesome. Oh, dude, this song rocks. The music in this game is so good. Every ounce of strength leaves my body, which no longer feels like my own. I muster up all the willpower I can, only to topple over on the spot. Is this all just a bad dream? First crime scene, huh? I know it's hard to take in, but try not to look away. Without any concern to spare for me, the workaholic walks towards the pool of blood. You know, I'm used to it. Doleful, Armor, head back up and fetch the other 3 detectives. After that, I'd like you to ask the chief to come to the manor. He sums up the heart of the matter in a low voice. It's a homicide. Someone is murdered. Senior detective. Senior detective. Oh shit. Oh shit, it's the old guy. No, Gramps. Damn it. I like doing his voice. You evil fuck. I don't know if I really think he's dead though, TBH, honestly. Like, I don't know, man. He just seems so suspicious. I'm gonna say it's a body that happens to look like him. Regardless of how detached he remains while objectively stating facts, it doesn't change the reality we're facing. A middle-aged man's corpse lies dismembered, his limbs strewn across the room we stand in. For the first time in my life, I am confronted with a murder scene. Ooh, yeah, that noise. Wait, what is that? I guess it's just him, like, passing out. I guess I don't really blame him. Chapter 1, the case of the dismembered detective. I stand in a corner. I think for a second I thought that was the end of the demo. I was like, no, you can't end it there. I stand in a corner, my mind completely blank. This is my first time witnessing a murder scene in person. Saika's death is seared in my mind, but that is different. Someone I know lies torn to pieces in a vivid sea of blood, dead. I'm no great detective, and although I try to steel myself, coming face to face with a scene like this has me too weak to stand. Even once I regain my footing, my legs still struggle to remain upright. The metallic stench of fresh blood is one I'll never be able to get used to. I breathe through my mouth as much as possible. If I had the choice, I'd sprint out of this room this very second. Workaholic detective ignores me as he investigates the corpse with meticulous efficiency. He and the victim must have been well acquainted. Aw, his pained look when he found the body suggests that his mental burden is far greater than mine. Yet despite that, he shows no signs of weakness. How much experience solving homicides would it take to become a detective like him? Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing to think about with like detective work. If you work in a lot of like gruesome cases like this, you just get like numb to it after a while. I can't even fathom it the way I am now. I could not do that job. The other detectives who had been summoned by Doleful aren't able to hide their shock at the sight. What's the big idea here? I thought Pops was supposed to have made it. Did he get offed while we were rushing over here? That's like so sad. It's not even funny. Like, Alexa played Despacito right now, and that is so sad. But that doesn't make any sense. We arrived at the manor 20 minutes after Senior Detective's message. For someone to chop up a body to this extent, hide the weapon, and escape in that amount of time, it's scientifically impossible. This level of blood loss would preclude livor mortis, and rigor mortis hasn't even set in yet. Okay. Livor mortis. I remember them talking about this in Danganronpa. Was like how fast it happens after death and something like that. I can't remember the exact times though. I may be stating the obvious since he called us just prior, but the state of coagulation indicates that he was killed less than half a day ago. Let's reestablish the order of events. Senior contacted us at 12:40. We then split into teams and headed to Gorgumgast from Schnarks. Since we arrived right at 13 o'clock, we can safely assume the crime occurred in the 20 minutes it took to travel from the faculty to the manor. Question, teacher. Isn't there a chance that the criminal could have, like, booked it before we left Snarks? Not at all. We headed to Gorgumgast as soon as Senior contacted us. Had the killer tried to escape, we'd have surely seen them en route. Thus, the killer must have been within the manor when we arrived. Okay. Do they think it's one of us? Is that what this is going to come down to? That'd be kind of interesting. I mean, we don't know who else is on the island, I guess. Had the killer tried to escape, we'd have surely seen them en route. Thus, the killer must have been within the manor when we arrived. I can hoof it for days, but it'd still take me 10 minutes to run down the hill to the faculty. Your theory checks out. So the key question is this: is the perpetrator still inside? Let's consider the time frame for when they could have made their escape. We found incompetent in the entrance hall and spoke for a time, then made our way upstairs 15 minutes later, so around 13:15. After that, thanks to Rowdy and Techie, we discovered the hidden passageway at 13:34. You can see the entire entrance hall from the corridor before the hidden passage, so escaping undetected would be a challenge. Okay. Yeah, that is a pretty, visible spot. If the killer was in the manor, their only chance to escape would be the 20 minutes we spent investigating the second floor. Ergo, it is highly probable that they are, in fact, still within the manor. But wouldn't 20 minutes be more than enough time to slip away? There's like other detectives we're supposed to meet too. I guess we'll hear their alibis when we talk to them later, but I remember like on the website and stuff, there was a lot of detectives, a lot more than we met so far. I did not expect a murder before we met the rest of the cast, that's for sure. You can make it outside easily enough, but the real problem comes after the fact. There's only one path from here to Snark's and no place to hide. The jig would be up if you were seen from a window. It simply isn't realistic. Exactly. I actually made a point of checking out the windows, but I didn't see anything or anyone suspicious. Hold on. No one's in the entrance hall right now. Isn't that, you know, kind of a stretch? Like, they could totally escape whenever. Well, that's perfectly all right. The chief is heading over from Snark's as we speak. If the killer tries to flee now, they're certain to get caught before they make it down the mountain path. Which means the Foul Slayer. Oh, yes, he said the word. Okay, never mind, Armor. You're my favorite character. Who was it that slayed? Was it you, Downtown? You're the closest to slaying out of this group. Which means the Foul Slayer does indeed still lurk within these walls. All right, then. In that case, let's head back up on the double. It's time for a good old-fashioned manor mouse hunt. Yeah, I feel like the more time we spend down here, the more opportunity they have to leave, right? Just a moment. There's a more viable method than hiding out in the manor for all this time. Workaholic points directly at me, drawing the focus of the other detectives. Incompetent. What the fuck, dude? Okay. Excuse you. Did you see how I was... Okay, I was going to say, did you see how I was about to faint when I saw the body? But, okay, people in Danganronpa do that all the time after they murdered somebody. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe it, a dead body. No, not my bestie. Yeah, then you find out later it was them. But still, I'm incompetent. You think I could pull off this murder? Leave me alone, bro. This guy's kind of sus too, honestly. He's like, I don't know, he's like... such a leader right now, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of making me suspicious of him because I assume our character's got to grow at some point and become, like, a better detective and, like, lead the other detectives eventually. But this guy's taking the spotlight, huh? So where were you 20 minutes ago, workaholic? I guess he has an alibi. But shut the fuck up, workaholic. I still don't trust you. You're the one doing all the deducing, so I don't have to follow by your logic. Incompetent. If you are the killer, then there is no issue regarding the timing. It would be all entirely feasible. What? My voice cracks as I'm caught completely off guard. Me, the killer? How does that make any sense? I'm just a little guy. It's simple. All you need to do is hack up Senior, then lie in the entrance hall, faking unconsciousness. Easily done in 20 minutes. If the culprit wasn't able to escape the manor, we can only assume that said culprit is you, bestie. What are you saying? There's no way I could chop somebody apart in 20 minutes. When I get blood all over my clothes, how about that one? Not to mention all the wires that were set up along the underground passage. How would I have gotten past those? I think I set them up? I raised my voice in protest without thinking. Even with Armor and Doleful's help, getting through that passage took 5 minutes. It's hard to imagine anyone like me with no special traits and making it through so quickly. Yeah, I was like, man, I'm the least threatening person here. I guess I am the only one without like a solid alibi, so I guess I get it, but still. Oh, there's the real conundrum. I figured you'd use some sort of trick. At any rate, I doubt it's necessarily impossible. What do you mean? Listen closely. Can you hear the voices above us? Okay. He's right. If I strain my ears, I can pick up sounds coming from the ceiling. Who are they coming from, though? We should be the only people inside the manor right now. In terms of layout, our current location is directly beneath the entrance hall. I presume that what we're hearing now is the chief arriving at the manor. As this basement is likely a hiding spot. How did the Mikado voice end up being perfect for this guy? There may be extra space between the floorboards so the noise can drift in from above. Now that he mentions it, my own eyes spot gaps in the ceiling where light is flittering through. As the workaholic detective said, it must be coming from the entrance hall above us. So yeah, he's saying I could have like timed it because I would be able to hear when they're entering and stuff. Fuck! I do be looking hella sus. Regardless, the rooms are vertically adjoined. One could greatly reduce the time required to move between them by means of some gimmick. You could say tamper with the floor of the entrance hall, creating a gap wide enough for a person to slip through the basement ceiling. Hey, but what about the bloody clothes? Come on, you didn't ever refute that. Workaholic's relentless reasoning leaves me overwhelmed. Even if there is a gap, there's no way someone my size could fit through it. Still, he's right about one thing. The entrance hall and the basement are awfully close together. How can I possibly clear my name now that we know it's possible to move between them? Oh God, should I save? Aren't you jumping to like some major conclusions here? It's not like you can just prove there isn't a hole connecting the ceiling to the entrance. Not like you can prove there isn't a hole. Let me save, dude. About to get my ass kicked. About to do a non-stop debate or something. I do feel like he is like jumping so quickly to this. I guess like he was close with Senior Detective, so he's like upset and maybe being like a bit more emotional because of that. I do think I am like the most suspicious, but he is like just so adamant about it. It makes me think maybe he did it. Your whole probatio diabolica bit is just bullying him into a corner. Like, talk about a total mood killer.
Lady Downtown has the right of it, so long as any such gimmick remains hidden. Your accusation is out of the question. Perchance my plasma knuckles, capable of winning any bout, could make such a hole, but still.
Why are you drawing suspicion to yourself? A punched out hole wouldn't close back up anyways. First things first, it seems, is it even possible to dismember an adult male to this extent within 20 minutes?
Oh my God, the flashbacks.
I feel like I've had this exact conversation before in another game. So interesting. So interesting. I think it literally was. They were talking about it happening in 20 minutes. According to that, yeah, I think so. I think 20 minutes was plenty of time. I think so. I might have to go back and rewatch that. Even if the killer themselves is male, they would need an extremely deft hand at amputation to pull off something so difficult. Well, I guess there was that.
Not like you need to skin him or bleed him out. Any hunter could do it. Hell, it would have been a snap if I was the crook.
Why are you guys all like flexing and bringing more attention to yourself? Her and Armor's like, well, I could have done it in 10 minutes personally, but you know, incompetent took his time. So it's safe to assume you're the culprit then. I just bet I could is all. There'd be no time to deal with all that spurting blood anyhow. Actually, I'd say there was. Workaholic probably shares my thoughts on that. Hey, do you suspect me too, bro? I thought we were homies.
So you notice as well, it's true, one could dismember a body in a short span of time if they use those wires we encountered.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that did cut through people very, very quickly. As he speaks, Workaholic holds up a blood-drenched wire. Unpleasant as it is, I'm reminded of how easily Doleful Detective's leg was cut earlier. You mean someone used this wire on Senior Detective?
Yes, in fact, it's possible that Senior Detective was already wrapped up in these wires when he got in contact with us. He may have done so under duress, after which the wires were pulled, slicing him into pieces. All that remains then is for the culprit to escape.
Okay, so he already wrapped him in the wire and then just pulled him when he was ready. I guess if he could do it from a distance too, that means that they could avoid getting like blood on them as well. I chanced on, okay, so I guess that kind of squishes my blood argument. I chanced on one of those wires again when I went to get the others. My foot happened to slip on it since it was coated in blood.
Based on the amount of blood, it's clearly not the same wire you first encountered. The killer must have anticipated us getting past the wires in the passage and discarded it on the floor there. Or perhaps the killer themselves set the traps in order to hide the murder weapon.
So I was like, wouldn't it kind of like bring more attention to the murder weapon? Like having it trapped there, you know what I mean? Because, like, I don't think we would have even thought about them using the wires otherwise. Like, if it wouldn't have been, like, hinted on the pathway. Because, I don't know, it's just because he's saying, like, oh, the killer anticipated them getting past the wires. Then, like, why would they put them there if they already anticipated that? Because I would think that you would put the wires if you don't want them to find the body. Because, I mean, them finding the wires and the body is just so, like, unhelpful for them in their case.
Either way, we have no other recourse but to suspect incompetent for now.
Fuck you!
Speak up if you have any objections.
I have an objection! I didn't do it! I shout on impulse.
Why are you getting so angry? Guilty conscience, I see.
The way his eyes widen too. Regret fills me almost immediately. I'd say the same thing if I was guilty as anybody in my shoes. As would anybody in my shoes. I refuse to believe incompetent did it. Okay, good, we're still homies. But that's all the more reason for us to find out what really happened.
Agreed, I don't want to accept that a fellow DA member could do such a thing even though he's barely a DA member. But as a detective, pursuing the truth is paramount, and the truth is that he did it. I rest my case. Oh.
Workaholic fixes me with a steely look. I want to speak up, but don't know what to say. I've reached my limits. Just processing all of these theories. There's no room for me to make my own deductions. Hold up, ain't the idea of incompetent being the perp a bit too, I don't know, far-fetched? Thank you, Rowdy. You asked me, we got the wrong guy here. Do you have any evidence to support this? I'd like to know why you don't suspect incompetent. Because he's incompetent, duh. Call it a gut feeling. I'm usually dead on the money with these sort of things. And that's downright scientifically impossible. Actually, I can totally see Ducky being that kind of dude. Actually, that's like scientifically impossible. We need to base our investigation on solid proof and logic. Facts and logic. Back off, Point Dexter. You looking for a fight? Okay, time out. No more fighting, guys. You're like seriously harshing my vibe. But that little punk was the one who... Look, it's not like Techie said he full-on suspects incompetent or whatever. Am I right? I like his little spray there, too. I wonder why he's in a wheelchair. If it's like a, you know, something he was born with, or if he got into like an accident or something. I hadn't really thought too much about that before, but I was like, girl, you really gonna beat up somebody who's in a wheelchair? Girl, not a good look, Rowdy. Not a good look at all. Precisely. I simply believe it's too early to confirm. A child in a wheelchair, no less. Precisely. I simply believe it's too early to confirm or deny that hypothesis. We can't rule out either conclusion yet. The culprit could have fled, but they could also still be inside the building. Oh, sorry about that. I might have gotten ahead of myself there again. Workaholic detective claps his hands, interrupting the discussion.
It appears we have a number of opinions. I'm going to the entrance hall to meet the chief. Let's investigate this individually after that.
I wonder if Chief is Vidok, the other person that was mentioned in the roster about what's his face? Sussy. Sussy man? Senior detective? I don't know, man. I still don't think you're dead. I don't believe it. I don't fucking believe that shit for a second, bro. I know you're just watching, waiting.
Halt, so, Workaholic. We have many a detective assembled here already. Ought we not join forces and confront this case together?
Oh.
Perhaps. We were really gonna do a trial here, but I'm tired, man. I just want to meet the chief. But even in this short amount of time, our conflicting opinions have already come to light. Each of us seeks to tackle this case through a starkly different approach. Collaborating in these conditions would only work against us.
I concur. I'll proceed with my investigation in my own way, calmly and scientifically. What's with that glare? You got a bone to pick with me or something? I already apologize. At the end of the day, I'm human. I'm going to get where I need to be by following my heart. Yeehaw. That alone ought to disqualify you from this line of work. Yeah, she doesn't really seem like the detective type so far. All about like hunches and senses. Lock Hale, it's all over once a detective forgets what it means to be human or dog-like me. Oh my god, just cool it already. I literally just asked you not to fly off the handle. Downtown detective does her best to intervene as Rowdy shouts at Techie. Doleful stands beside the three of them, flustered and directionless, as Armor and Workaholic continue their heated debate. It doesn't seem like the investigation is going to start anytime soon. Just like Workaholic Detective said, everyone's playing this by their own rules, so no one's taking the lead. Everyone, I know you all think I'm evil and guilty, but please listen to me. I want to suggest we all work together, but the words die in my throat. There's no way I could be so bold when I'm the prime suspect. I know that, and yet I feel like I need to say something. My fist clenches. Unlike me, each of the detectives here has their own talents and strengths. It's my incompetence that really drives home how amazing they are. But that's exactly why I need to speak up now. Now's not the time for arguing, wouldn't you say? I chime in, but my voice comes out so softly that nobody hears me. It's time to stop arguing, guys. Come on, listen to me. Okay, they didn't hear me. Okay, I'll go sit in the corner again. Together, these detectives could solve any case. And yet, here they are arguing. That angers me far more than being a suspect. I failed to save someone again, even though Senior Detective was so close by. I don't know if there's really that much you can do, bro. Plus, I don't know. I still think he's alive and evil. I'm just gonna say it. What's the point of being a detective if all I can do is sit around and watch these things happen? My self-loathing mounts as I listen to them bicker amongst each other. My position in the situation doesn't matter. What happens to me isn't as important as getting these detectives to work as a team. Everyone, please listen. Oh, there he goes. Oh my God. The other detectives turn to face me. Naturally, they all look rather dubious. I falter for a moment, but desperately push on. I know a lot of you suspect me. That's fine. I know I look pretty sussy right now. There's a lot to suspect, and I understand that. But can't you all at least try to cooperate?
Cooperate, that's a tall order. Our personal modes of investigation are hardly compatible.
Yeah, I guess they're not used to working together. You'd think that they would work together more for like a big case like the Quartering Duke, though, you know what I mean? But it would make sense that normally they like work on their own separate cases, and so their styles would clash. I'm always down for a collab, but you're kind of asking for the impossible right now. Girl, do you even do detective work? I feel like all you talk about is like internet collabs. I mean, we couldn't even agree on whether or not you're the prime suspect. That's why I want everyone to agree on what direction to take. And what direction to take, even if you are the prime suspect? That's right. Although I'm too tense to make a proper response, I force my voice out, trying to be bold as I give the detectives my suggestion. Oh. Please, proceed with your investigation. Under the assumption that I did it. Ah, look at you. If you start there, you'll be less likely to have any more arguments like this one, right? That's nice of him. Very self-sacrificial, I guess, at least. But, I mean, I do think he should be, like, the prime suspect. It just felt like Workaholic was going in so hard. He was just like, and that's how I could do it here, and that's why I could do it there, and that's why another reason why I could do it. I was like, bro, can you just, like, leave me alone for a second? I'm just 17. I'm just a high schooler. The detectives fall silent. Maybe telling them to suspect me was too brazen a move after all. But I guess giving them permission to suspect him would, you know, help them solve the case. I guess it'll build, you know, confidence in Incompetent 2 once, like, they prove that he didn't do it. It's like, okay, you know, he really does just want the best for us. Is your head screwed on wrong or something? After all the effort we spent defending you, you got the guts to ask to be the suspect? Have you lost your goddamn marbles?
I beseech you not to give up. Sir Incompetent, what has become of your resolve?
I'm not giving up. It's not as if I want to be the main suspect here. But it'd be even worse if the investigation stalled out because of me. I'm staking my safety on your deductive reasoning. Yeah, it's like he's a fanboy, so he believes in all of their talents and stuff. I raise my voice with all my strength, my trembling hands balling into fists. Just thinking like the Arthur meme. I trust all of you far more than my own incompetence. If you work together, I know the truth will come out. I'm sure you'll prove that I didn't do it. The detectives silently take in my words. Not one of them speaks up. They all simply stare at me, incredulous. I guess my suggestion was overstepping my bounds. I've only made them all even more distrustful of me. But I don't regret it. I'd much rather have these outstanding detectives suspect me than continue arguing in vain. So, you insist that because we're on the same case, we'll end up proving you aren't the culprit. Such words make one feel blessed to be a detective. Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, wait, who's this? I hear a cold, beautiful voice behind me. Oh my god, is this my guy? The guy I've been waiting to see with the heels? My breath catches as I turn around. Oh no, god dang it. It's the best girl! Just how should we respond when a suspect gives a statement like that? Continue to argue, never to find any common ground. I'm just so down bad for that guy, honestly. Or take action swiftly and promptly. I eagerly await your answer. Her hair is white as snow, her gleaming eyes purple like Hydrana's, her skin smooth with features like a porcelain doll. He mentioned Hydrana's before too, right? Was he talking about the little girl then? I'll have to go back during editing and see. At her back stands a far from ordinary girl. Pretty. Oh man. The others are visibly thrown off by her arrival. It's clear that she stands out, even among these prominent detectives. I mean, I feel like she should be a suspect too, considering, like, She's got no alibi whatsoever. Oh, just kidding. She's the chief. My bad. I didn't know that.
Chief, why are you here? I specified that I would meet you at the entrance when you arrived. Do you truly believe I would wait idly by when my dear friend, senior detective, has been murdered? Out of the question! I left our colleagues to themselves and went on my own.
Okay, I guess she brought the other colleagues too, so I guess that does make me the only suspect if they all arrived with her. The girl workaholic called Chief speaks without a hint of timidity. Timidity? Footsteps sound out from the passageway. Evidently, the other detectives followed her lead, heading to this room. Oh yeah, we get to meet everybody else now. We never told you about this basement, did we? We figured it'd be better that way, so no one would get hurt inside the tunnel.
I noticed an echo beneath my feet upon entering, so I placed my ear to the floor. And what should I hear but your voices? From there I deduced the general layout and discovered the secret path that had been left open. Hardly a mystery, really. Easy child's play.
The chief shares her amazing feats as though they were simply a matter of course. She kind of reminds me of, like, female Kinji. Like, her design, honestly. Like, the white hair, the, I don't know, like, religious-looking, like, outfit almost with, like, the white and black color scheme. She does seem really smart, like, already catching on to the hollowness underneath the floor and all that. We worked so hard to find this underground room, and yet she found it by merely touching the floor. No wonder the others looked shocked. She's just built different. Tee. Huh? I startle as the girl gives me a smile. Compared to how she treats the others, her gaze on me feels more personal. Yeah, I remember, like, looking at the characters. What was it? There was some reason why she reminded me of, like, the little girl in The Vision. I thought they looked similar, but they didn't actually look similar when I was looking at the flashback again in this game. Maybe it's because it said, like, she just seems so familiar. I mean, that would make more sense as to why he got just, like, put into the detective agency with seemingly, like, no, like, qualities, you know what I mean? Her gaze on me feels more personal. No, I'm probably mistaken. I must be.
So, you're the newcomer I've been hearing about. I am Ideal Detective.
Oh my. Okay, Flex. What a name. Yeah, I'm the incompetent detective. I'm just so freaking awesome. The greatest to ever do it. The greatest to have ever done it. Ideal.
I am Ideal Detective. I lead the team working to stop the Quartering Duke.
I feel like she's kind of sussy too, honestly.
Your spirited appeal earlier was admirable. I'm expecting much of you, so keep at it, and never hesitate to share your thoughts. I apologize for losing my composure just now. Once the other detectives arrive, I'll brief you on all the situation and give my impressions. Thank you, Workaholic. That would be much appreciated. But first, allow me to clear up a certain misconception you seem to be laboring under. Each and every member of the Quartering Duke's investigation is a suspect. You, I, or any of us have the means to carry out this murder.
Oh, what? No, it's just that guy. Commotion erupts as the detectives speak over each other, which of course is unsurprising. Other than me, nobody else was in the manor at the time senior detective died. On top of that, this murder required enough time for a full dismemberment. In what possible way could he have been killed? Ideal Detective has only just arrived here, but her Hydrana-like eyes glimmer like gems, as if they picked up on something. Maybe it was that, yeah, the other girl had Hydrana-like eyes or something.
The outline of the case is clear. All that remains is for us to pool our efforts and ascertain the reality of the situation.
Like, walking up.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe it's time to make our reprisal.
Soon enough, the other detectives join us at the scene. Oh, hey, there they are. Look at them. Interesting. God damn it, Senior. God damn it, Senior. To think your time would come so soon. Just how many trials does the Lord expect us to endure? So sympathetic there, huh?
I vow that I, Mystic... Oh, wait. Oh, is that her, maybe? I vow that I, Mystic Detective, shall send the culprit straight to hell. Mark my word, Quartering Duke. The flames below burn hot.
Bet you aren't even close to the senior detective, the girl said, coldly stating the facts.
You mustn't You mustn't mock our bond, bookie. Members of the DA are spiritually bound, soulmates even, to the extent of our interactions. The extent of our interactions is irrelevant.
Repulsive spiritual intimacy aside, I concur the quartering duke must pay, the girl said, fist shaking at the thought of her adversary. The middle-aged man in the anachronistic Western garments and a black-haired girl clutching a hardcover book approach the body, shattering. The man has the mind of a seasoned veteran. The girl, on the other hand, looks around 10, yet doesn't flinch at the sight of a corpse. I remember her design kind of reminds me of Toko, the bookworm. I guess also because Toko's like a bookworm. She seems a lot more like, you know, chill than Toko. Both of them must be experienced detectives. I, posh detective, ranked number 5. Oh, number 5 in the DA. Who else is high up in the DA? Who else was high up? Number 5. Is that the highest so far? I think so, yeah. Workaholic was the highest out of the ones we first met. Okay, number 5. Fancy. I guess Chief is number 1, probably. I, posh detective, ranked number 5 in the DA, have already arrived at the crux of this mystery. Oh, damn it. I got their voices confused. Okay, so I think the blonde-haired guy is the mystic detective. Oh, duh. He's got the little beads. And then the posh detective's the girl with the necklace. The girl with the very pretty necklace, one might say. The woman dressed so elegantly that she looks out of place, jabs a finger at me.
Our culprit is the commoner found unconscious, incompetent detective, the hastily hidden knife on the second floor proves that he was unable to escape. Oh dear me, there I go again demonstrating my incredible acumen. Perhaps it's time I took the reins as chief instead. Oh, maybe. God, I'm so awesome. Now hold on a moment, didn't Ideal reject that theory just now? I beg your pardon? Her theory is the one that's Okay, wait, maybe Posh is the redheaded girl.
It's so hard to tell. Damn it. Well, then who is the girl with the nice necklace? I guess she might just be kind of quiet. I love how I'm just saying it like it's just like it's a thing. I beg your pardon. Her theory is the one that's utterly hogwash. I'm sure. Isn't that right, gourmet detective? The woman called Posh Detective speaks to someone in a motorcycle suit. Okay, so Posh Detective's the redheaded girl, who smiles as if she's enjoying herself.
I wonder about that. Anyways, I don't smell Renegade lingering around. Where could he go? Snack break?
She seems kind of out of it.
Upon arriving, he decided to abstain, stating that this case didn't interest him. Man, should Posh Detective get the Kazuna voice? She kind of seems more like a Kazuna than Downtown. I feel like Downtown, maybe she could just get like a Yuruko kind of voice. I imagine you'll find him napping in the first floor living room.
And napping, even though senior detective, a legend in our field, has been killed? Why, never! Just what is that man thinking?
Renegade's non-conforming nature is his strong suit. I'm sure he'll put his talents to use later on. So let's leave him be for now.
I think that's the one that I like. The serial killer guy. Lenient leadership like this is why high-ranking agents defy your orders. Classified detective and detective gentleman didn't even deign to show up. Okay. I don't know. This girl's... Okay, never mind. She gets the Kazuna voice. Damn it. I feel like I'm just passing around the Kazuna voice like hot plates at this point. Do we get to see anything about... Oh, hey. See these people at least. Oh, wow. So she's number 5. The case of the altered Mona Lisa. Number 7, number 9. Okay, all these guys are higher ranked. Oh, number 2. Oh, I guess Senior was number 1 then? Well, no, he was retired. Who's number 1 then? Vidok Q. Such a weird name. Classified detective. A detective alias handed down from generation to generation in the EY clan, the most prestigious family in the domestic detective industry. Just as the name suggests, they never act unless it concerns a case of the utmost national secrecy. Even among the upper echelons of the Alliance, only a scant few have ever seen this individual. The clan always acts under the guidance of family head Mikazuki Iwai, solving cases quickly and dispassionately. Detective gentleman. Gonta! The genteel detective who always wears a suit. He styles his alias in reversed order because he sees himself more as a gentleman who is a detective rather than the other way around. His eccentricities are unrivaled within the DA. Despite being a talented investigator, he only accepts cases that suit his personal sensibilities. According to his apprentice, however, he is surprisingly easy to manipulate once a beautiful lady is involved. For a second, I thought maybe he was like the quartering duker behind it, but I guess we'll see. Doleful detective's ability. Okay, that's the danger magnet thing. It's like, hopefully we get like a backstory and they don't just explain it through like these things. I don't think so. It seems like, I mean, this game seems like it's going to be pretty long so far, considering how long this demo is. Techie Detective developed these 7 high-performance support tools in collaboration with the DA, though he possesses a variety. Oh, yeah, so that's the forensic friends that they were talking about before. Okay, cool. I think we got everything then. Classified Detective Gentleman didn't even deign to show up. On the honor of the Pinkerton name, I swear I will wrest the title of Chief from you. I guess it makes sense she's so competitive since she's also pretty high up. Ideal Detective doesn't flinch and merely smiles at Posh Detective's belligerence. I'd like to see you try, bitch.
Thank you, Posh. Zealous subordinates such as yourself allow me to plunge into my work without fear, despite the risk.
She's like dude, I feel like she's like one of those people in like a show like Game of Thrones where they have to be like so passive aggressive. Like,
thank you. I appreciate how much of a bitch you're being right now, because you know, it inspires me to work harder. Should the enemy ever succeed in removing me from the front lines, I entrust the Detective Alliance to you.
Wait, what? I'll thank you not to speak of such ominous things. Your achievements far surpass mine. Nothing of the sort could ever happen. Okay, so she is kind of nice in a way. I shall supplant your position by my own merits. Be sure of it, my destined rival. Okay, so maybe they have like a little friendship going on too, actually. Like a friendly rivalry. Workaholic Detective explains the situation to those who arrive from the faculty. Once he's finished, Ideal Detective addresses us.
As you can see, Senior Detective, believed to be the last surviving member from the Detective Alliance headquarters, has been murdered. God, he is such the mastermind, dude. Which means, in all likelihood, that the perpetrator is a part of the DA as well.
Uh-oh. Tensions rise across the room. Some detectives look at each other, while others turn their gazes at me. Except looking at me. It doesn't seem like they're going to stop suspecting me anytime soon. That common pleb simply must be the killer. My highborn brain cells reassure me so.
I agree. Rationally speaking, no one but incompetent could be the culprit. His story is dubious from A to Z.
Though you two are both of common birth, your words ring true. I grant you leave to sing my praises, Workaholic Detective, loud and clear.
Fuck off. I wasn't actually praising you. Let's begin by clearing up the most fundamental misapprehension. Incompetent Detective is no intruder. I personally invited him to our meeting as a formal member.
Okay, she's totally related to that situation in the past then.
You personally invited him, but why?
He has no redeeming qualities. We literally nicknamed him incompetent. Workaholic addresses the elephant in the room. Even I'm hearing this for the first time. I have no idea what she intends for me. As if sensing my confusion, Ideal Detective's eyes meet my own. Those hydrina-hued irises implore me to trust her.
It's simple, really. I wish to have the person I trust most at my side. He may not remember, but he once saved my life.
Okay, so she definitely is like the little girl then. Or it seems kind of like it. Girl, you're really like 17 and number 2 in the detective agency. God. The talent.
I consider his potential abilities to be no less than extraordinary.
I guess he just doesn't remember saving her. She's still kind of sus though, I'm not gonna lie.
I requested that Senior Detective invite him to the island, but I didn't anticipate his methods would involve kidnapping and confinement.
Workaholic Detective's mouth hangs open as Ideal Detective casually explains the unexpected. Which makes sense. This is an extreme mixture of business and private affairs. I can tell he's in no state to even begin questioning her. Not to mention, I'm quite surprised myself. I saved her life, but we only just met. I have more questions than I can count, but at the very least, this does make me seem a little bit less suspicious. Now's not the time to make any clumsy comments, so I stay quiet and let Ideal Detective do all the work.
Is that really it? Something smells fishy to me. It's true what they say. Your nose is unmatched, but please, suspect away. There's nothing to feel guilty about.
So if Incompetent isn't the killer, then who is? All of us, save for Incompetent, were in the research facility when Senior got in touch with us, so we were all the way from the scene.
Excellent question, Doleful. That very occurrence is what caused you all to suspect incompetent, correct? That was the culprit's first trap. Senior Detective's message was not, in fact, sent from down in this basement. Okay.
But Senior Detective was unquestionably killed here just after making contact, wasn't he?
The girl asked the chief with full sincerity.
Humph, I have it. His spirit was compelled to contact us post-mortem.
Bro, quite possible with the right voodoo ritual. That is so true.
Keep quiet, you occult-obsessed twit.
Snapped the girl, scolding the man for his useless comment.
Naturally, Mystic is correct, but making the dead speak is a step in the right direction.
Okay, yeah, because of the recording or whatever.
I've tested it, and this basement has no signal. Contacting the outside simply isn't possible from in here.
I beg your pardon? The other detectives pipe up in shock. Does this mean that Senior Detective was restrained somehow other than the basement when we made contact? That can't be right. There were 20 minutes between the message being sent and the detective's arrival at the manor. Didn't Senior Detective say something like, "This is a recorded message though, so sorry, I can't reply back, dumbass"? It would be impossible to drag someone down that narrow wire-filled passage, not to mention dismembering them in so short of a time frame.
It's a fact that Senior Detective contacted us, no? If not from the basement, how else would he have done it? It's a simple trick, really, once you've thought it out. The culprit imitated Senior's voice, just as I'm doing right now.
Oh, real? What? Ideal Detective sounds just like Senior Detective as she's...
He just got good, what can I say?
If my eyes were closed, I may well have mistaken her for the man himself. She's that skilled at impersonating him.
Kinda seems like you might have done it then, huh? Vocal mimicry, That's certainly a possibility if the killer is the kind of person I imagine them to be.
Vocal mimicry. I heard about this historical skill from my mentor. It originated from Edo period theater. He told me how there were established modes of practice, and that in the DA, where disguises often came in handy. Many were experts in the art. Kind of sounds a little OP, though I doubt I could ever even master it, no matter how hard I tried.
Is that why you're so certain the culprit is part of the Detective Alliance? If a traitor lurks in our midst, then the massacre at Snark's would be plausible enough, as would the idea of a fake message from Senior Detective. Such criminal acts would be feasible for another detective, paradoxically increasing the odds that one is indeed the culprit. Exactly, a mere intruder killing 22 research faculty detectives would be inconceivable. This was most assuredly an inside job. We were unable to control our turmoil when we discovered the bodies in the faculty, and so did the traitor among us bide their time. The killer would have an easy time manipulating us through a call, a far easier time than slipping up through the cell to the entrance hall.
Hold up, I don't care. Oh yeah, was it? I don't know. I feel like I can't tell who should get the Kazuna voice. Should they both get the Kazuna voice? Damn it. Whatever, I'm just gonna give them both a Kazuna voice. Hold up, I don't care how cool detectives are. No way they can just copy people's voices. What the fuck is this?
Verily, my training earned me mighty thews, yet my vocal cords remain middling at best. Such a mimicry is out of the question. I'll concede that it couldn't normally be done, but we are facing someone who's easily slewn a dozen of our comrades. No normal killer, to be sure. If we are professionals in logic and reason, then our opponent is a specialist in homicide. One or two impossible feats would hardly faze them. Don't let your perception limit your perspective. Bodily alterations, unfeasible acts, a murderous fiend will stop at nothing to achieve their aims.
Both of them fall silent at Ideal Detective's words. Her persuasiveness holds a weight that brooks no argument.
If that phone message was falsified, Chief, then by the time we received it, Senior was. Precisely, he was already dead, or at least in no state to speak.
They were talking about the rigor mortis thing, so I'm thinking that means they killed them, like, within the 20 minutes, but, like, they were just able to, like, do it last minute. Because if it was, like, you know, weeks ago or something, obviously the blood would be dried. But with the rigor mortis thing, too, I thought that would kind of prove that it was done more recently. I guess it would be hard to tell if somebody was killed, like, 40 minutes ago versus, like, 20 minutes ago, though. You know what I mean? I guess I could see that being the case.
Precisely, he was already dead, or at least in no state to speak. The culprit used the call to tamper with the chronology of the crime.
I mean, there's got to only be like a few people who know that technique of like the speech thing, you know? So I feel like that narrows it down. I definitely don't know how to do it. Come on. Not a little incompetent over here.
So the dismembered body is meant to make us think this was done by the quartering duke, as well as distort the time of death. How ingenious. My deepest apologies for allowing the killer's ploy to deceive me. It would seem I still have much more to learn.
Workaholic detective hangs his head. Ideal detective smiles gently at him before continuing to speak. You gonna apologize to me, bro? Why are you apologizing just to her?
The culprit set up Senior's death in here and fled with his D-pad. Then per their plan, they contacted me as we investigated Snarks. In doing so, they summoned the DA members to the manor so that Senior's body would be discovered.
Hold up, boss. We all heard that recording you made of old Senior's message, right? Is it even remotely scientifically possible that none of us would notice his voice wasn't the same?
That would be due to the peculiarities of the human memory.
Oh, yeah, like the phone thing. They mentioned it in Persona 5. Like, when you hear somebody talking through a phone, it's like your brain's making up a majority of, like, interpreting their voice the way it sounds or whatever.
The human brain excels at recalling visuals, but struggles to do the same with linguistic and auditory information. Because of this, it's not uncommon for people to be incapable of identifying a caller on the phone, even if it's someone they know well. They often say that a client's name is easy to remember when associated with a voice or face. Things grow hazier with words and sound alone. Yes, sometimes, once you hear a person's name on the phone, your memory makes the connection with their voice. Same diff. Bank transfer scams are a prime example. The scammer begins by providing the caller's name, so you fall for it even if their voice doesn't match. You end up convincing yourself that any oral discrepancies are the result of a poor connection. Okay.
Speaking of, Old Man Senior's message was like totally screwy with static. I could barely hear him. Was that just a cover-up?
Likely so. The whole thing seems contrived.
If you knew all this, then why respond to the summons, dispatching detectives to follow the whims of a killer? Ah, the gall! Yeah, for real.
Because I wanted to believe it was him.
Interesting. Weird. For the first time, Ideal Detective's expression grows dark and serious.
If the culprit was impersonating Senior, it means he couldn't speak. It meant I would never see him alive again. That was why I decided to split up our forces in two, all the while hoping that Senior still lived. Okay, so she wanted to test that. By virtue of their self-defense expertise, I sent Armor and Rowdy to the manor, in case there were any traps. But as you can tell, my conjecture was right on the mark. I've never tested my powers of insight as much as I do today.
Dang, she is really good at, like, insight and telling stuff really quickly, seeing through, like, facades. Her mirthless, sorrowful laughter startles me. I realize now that those skilled at deductive reasoning can also foresee the grim future. Ideal Detective predicted the death of her friend. The pain she's feeling must be greater than I can even imagine.
However, a detective's job is not to lament tragedies, but to unravel the truths behind them and reverse their bleak outcomes. Our 23 murdered comrades will not go unavenged. On this you have my word. Ladies and gentlemen, I call upon your aid. If all 13 of us combine our efforts, I know for a fact that we can stop the quartering duke.
That is so true, honey. I realize that everyone else is silent, each of them listening intently to what Ideal Detective is saying. It's incredible to think that they were all arguing just moments ago. In such a short amount of time, the strength of her abilities and resolve has gained the trust of her fellow detectives.
Now, without further ado, there's something I'd like us to all investigate. I'll send the details via the D-pad for now. Please go where instructed. I have a vague sense of what really happened here. By the time you've finished, the truth should take shape and reveal itself before us. Ladies and gentlemen of the Detective Alliance, let us reverse this tragedy.
Ah, nice. After receiving directions from Ideal Detective, the others take their leave from the basement to begin their investigations. Almost thought that was the end of the demo for a second. It felt so, like, final. We have been divided into teams of 3, leaving Ideal Detective, Armor Detective, and myself with the crime scene. Ideal Detective appears to be deep in thought, so I decided to join Armor Detective in examining the body. True to the quartering duke's name, the victim's head, arms, and legs have all been severed away from the torso. The more I look, the more horrific the manner of death appears. It's so savage. I can't believe the culprit is even human. But the cruel truth is inescapable. What lies before us is the depraved work of not a monster, but a person. Sir Incompetent, even if the culprit used a wire, do these cross-sections on the corpse not appear too clean to you? Okay. Dang, do we get to do a whole investigation too? Jesus Christ. Is this demo just like the entire first chapter? Like, I've never seen a demo so long before. Dang, dude, I might stop here for now because, like, I'm just so, like, impressed by the length of this demo. I think we're actually going to go through, like, a full entire trial. So I think I'm just going to continue this either in a stream or another Let's Play video if you guys prefer that. I just want to test this game out and see if you guys are interested in it as well. Let me know what you guys think about this game. I'm really enjoying it so far. I could definitely see it being a new, like, popular mystery game like Danganronpa or Zero Escape. It definitely seems very well made so far. The music freaking slaps so hard. And I like all the characters so far too. They do remind me of like the Ultimates with their like really quirky personalities, you know what I mean? And I feel like they bounce off of each other really well. Everybody seems really likable. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this game, how you enjoyed this Let's Play. Please do leave a like and a comment and subscribe. And yeah, please let me know if you'd rather me live stream this or continue it in a Let's Play. But yeah, thanks guys so much for watching, and I will see you real soon.